All right,
It's
going
just like
live.
beginner, and I'm like medium beginner, and Adam's like veteran beginner.
Oh, and kayaking?
Yeah.
I don't know about that. I barely started not too long ago. We're all beginners.
Yeah, compared to everybody else. All right, here we go. Room
Let's do it.
starting. Let's see. Let's see. We didn't promote. We didn't do jack for this one. Honestly, like I didn't even want to do one today. I was kind of I don't know. I was
Speaking
doing.
of promotion,
Of
how many viewers we
course,
got right now?
we got one.
Okay,
We got
I
4.
expect one purchase after this.
Hey, what up, guys? This is the Shelter Show. SHELTERSHOW. Um, what's up, everybody? Yeah, we didn't. Yeah, Jordan L says I thought this wasn't gonna happen tonight. Miguel Native Angler says hi. Yeah, I don't think it. I don't think we were planning on it happening tonight. I don't know. For me, it's been a long week. Today I had a long day, and last week was such like a big show. Like mentally, I'm just like, okay, I think I did what I set out to do for like the last month or so, just trying to get stuff going for that fundraiser, then bringing everyone together and tying it all full circle. And so enough people have said, "Hey, you want to run a show tonight? Or are you running a show? Why not? That's the
Did you
beauty of a
did
that's the
all your
beauty of a basement show, right?"
yeah? So did all your winners get back to you?
Yeah, so all the winners got back to me. Thanks for asking, Mr. Adam. And all the packages were shipped out to all the winners. So all the winners got back to me with their addresses. Everyone claimed what they needed to claim. So thank you guys so much for participating and getting back to me so I could send you your stuff. So actually, I think I sent it out on Monday, which was like a trip because like I haven't been into a post office since this all started. And so like there was glass walls everywhere. Of course, there's like the 6 foot like mediums in between everyone. And I ain't gonna lie, I'm a little nervous going out back into the public. It's like amazing what a pandemic and 2 months of like news media and what doctors are telling me and people that I know in the EMS and healthcare field can like change your way of re-entering the public. So yeah, so long story short, I got everything out. So thanks guys that participated. You should already have your stuff. Everyone was in California um, that won. So not everyone that donated was from California, but thankfully for me, because it's not cheap to kind of to ship stuff around the country. Everyone was actually in California. A lot of Bay Area people too. So it worked out. So what up, guys? 20 people watching. This is the Shelter Show episode 9, I think. You'll notice June got much younger and he's much better looking.
Mini June.
Mini June, this is Nick. What's up, Nick? How's it going, man? Thanks for swinging by.
No problem. Excited to be here.
Yeah, yeah, we've been meaning to get Nick on. I think we had a pretty good run of full time YouTube guys. Not saying that Nick isn't full time, but this is kind of the low key shelter show. Again, we didn't really promote it because like it came together in literally like the last 10 minutes. I was like, hey, you guys still want to do this? So we sent links around and yeah, I can't believe how fast it's been. It's already been a week since the last one. We're already on episode 9, which means we've done this I think almost every Friday. At one of the shows ago, we did it on a Saturday, so we've been able to bang one of these out once a week ever since Shelter in Place started, which is kind of the impetus for the show. So just an opportunity to catch up with the community, say what's up, give you guys something to watch live on Friday, and like even more importantly to me, like I would love to know that this has replayability. So if you're doing something, if you're I don't know, tying lures or washing your car, somehow, some way, if you guys can replay the audio of this, that tells me that there's a demand in the market for some kind of podcast like show that you can just turn on, zone out, and hear what we have to say. So yeah, so
Ish, you're the Joe Rogan of fishing.
you know he has like 5 million subs. I mean, what if this thing turned into the Joe Rogan podcast of fishing? I wouldn't mind that. I watch, and like I don't mean to like jump on his balls or anything, but he has a fun show. Like I've been watching him interview a lot of the comedians I like, some of the people like in the sciences. He has a really well-rounded show, and so I'm not surprised that he has the success he does. So
I'm surprised he's not more into fishing because he's into hunting. He's all
yeah. I know it. You know, it's interesting. He was interviewing somebody. I forget who it was, but he referenced crabbing, and he was mentioning. So he was talking about, like, I think he was talking about like beach closures, right? And then he referenced crabbing in the Greater Bay Area, and people that he was interviewing were based in Southern California are like, what are you talking about, crabbing? Is that a thing? He was like, oh yeah, you go like north of Santa Cruz, and people in like San Francisco area do it all the time. And then this is when, you know, like he doesn't really know, but he knows enough. But he's like, yeah, I think they catch like blue crabs all day. so yeah, so it's definitely a thing.
sounds like a fisherman's life fan.
Yeah, just enough.
Watches fishing videos but doesn't fish.
Yeah, the casual fisherman's life video. Or a fan. So anyway, yeah. So anyone tuning in late, we have 32 people watching, about 200 shy of our record-setting audience live gathering last week. So that was cool. It only took a combined 1.5 million, subs worth of channels to pull that off. But thanks guys for anyone that watched it and watched the replay. We had like over 3.5 thousand views of that interview total.
Yeah, that was a great show.
Yeah, that one is like, I think is as close as I can get to having a perfect show. And and like I appreciate anyone that's come on, but as far as tying together the results of the fundraiser, the interaction with the subs, having the guests that people want to see, especially representative of the Bay Area and how successful your channel can be. We had pretty much everyone that I think people consider, the elite YouTube, at least Bay Area YouTubers. And then the way the prizes kind of went out, the people that it went out to, it just kind of worked out perfectly. So really appreciate anyone who watched that. If you didn't catch it, go ahead and take a look. That was episode 7. And yeah, that was a good one. That was a fun one. Actually, I listened back to almost every recording just to see what it sounds like. And my mic sucks, number one, but I think the flow of that one, the Taku one, and the one that that just happened last week, I think are my 2 favorite ones so far. I really like the Taku one. I really like how that kind of came together. And
what, the YouTube aspect of it, or
just the flow of the conversation, the back and forth, the information we were able to get out of him, and the fact that I think he's just down to earth guy, so he's very relatable, and he's just a good guest. And so just no coincidence, I think the 2 shelter shows that have done the best, he's been involved with. So yeah, maybe I'll replace him or me with him and just let him take it over.
No, you're a great host, Ish.
Hey, thanks, man. Yeah. Yeah, appreciate it. If this thing, I was thinking maybe like once we get to episode 10, maybe that'll be like the last episode that I host on this channel. And then maybe we just dedicate a channel to it. And I think I call this episode phase 2 because I don't know, we'll talk about it eventually when I stop talking. But we're starting to transition back into the closest semblance of normalcy you can, right? And maybe that means I get to go fishing again. Maybe that means I get to post videos again. And so maybe this live stream will exist on its own, because I don't know if I want to dedicate my entire channel to it, because it's probably messing up all my algorithms, because people, I have this like 2-month block of these super long recordings, and people don't watch it all the way through. So I know it's like messing up my channel, but I'm not full-time, so I don't really care. But it would be cool to have a dedicated presence maybe. And so maybe we turn this into a dedicated channel, and if people want to subscribe to it, they can. So we'll see. Yeah, we'll see. So, hey, I see a lot of people coming up into the chat. We have 38 people, a lot of night owls, I guess, 9 o'clock here on the West Coast. This is the latest start we've ever had to the Shelter Show. For anyone joining in late, I'm Ish with Fish. We have Adam, as always, wherever he is in the screen. And no, this isn't June. This is Nick Fish. What's up, Nick? How's it going, man?
Hey, guys.
Thanks for swinging by.
Thanks for having me.
if you guys have watched Adam's videos, at least recently, you've probably seen Nick, and I'm assuming most of you guys know who he is. So he's definitely a friend of the show, and definitely wanted to bring him on at some point. And so I figured this was a good time to have him in and talk fishing with you guys. So yeah, perfect timing too, because kayak season's starting to fire up. We're starting
Yeah,
to get
right now.
yeah, we're starting to get access back to the beaches, which means the kayak launches are a little less hairy, I guess. And so I suspect soon we'll see a wave of YouTuber Bay Area kayak fishing videos in the usual spots. And so, yeah, perfect timing to have you on. So, Adam, Nick, how's it going, man?
Yeah. So Adam and I just went fishing yesterday. We went rock fishing, went for crab, but we didn't do too hot.
Yeah, how's the crab bite out there? I'm like so desperate for crab. I haven't had a real Dutchess crab in about 3 months, I think, and I'm like hurting for one.
Yeah, I was hoping for like a really good crabbing session because nobody's been out there, but it's kind of slow. I
Yeah, is
pulled
it
my, I was using 6 hoop nets and I pulled
6?
them, yeah, and I pulled
Wow,
them twice each and only got 3 keepers. So,
wow.
but
So the ratio is pretty terrible right now.
yeah, I'm not sure why either. Maybe it's a
Yeah,
little warm and they're going deeper waters.
yeah.
But
Well, so somebody told me that, and I think just in experience, the there's a reason why there's an open dungeon season and a closed dungeon season, and I noticed that when the closed season comes around, so July 1st to October 30th, or how many days are in October? 31st, 31st, or
yeah,
whenever it opens again. I see the most amount of crabs, especially female crabs in the shallows, and so I think the crabs aren't necessarily gone. I think they're starting to come in and maybe breed more in the shallows, and that's why they're closed the months that they're closed to allow them to rest and populate, or respawn, I
Yeah.
guess, gamer term. And so I think they're definitely there, but yeah, you just don't see the waves. Like I remember Adam's first crabbing video. He caught like 30 keepers, right? In like 3 pots or something. It was
Yeah,
crazy.
that video or that day like officially ruined me for crabbing for life. I think I'm never gonna do that again.
Yeah,
yeah. For me, I feel like crabs, they don't live in one area. They're
yeah,
constantly moving,
yeah,
constantly foraging. Because in the way I think that is, I fish the same spot a lot of the time. I go to the same spot every time.
yeah,
And I noticed that sometimes um, there's no crabs there. Sometimes they're all big ones.
yeah,
Sometimes they're all small ones. Sometimes they're female. Sometimes they're male.
yeah,
And it's funny how, um, well, yeah, you can tell that it's different, that things are different, that they're not all the same crabs just hanging out there. Like it's slowly getting worse because I'm out fishing them right there. That's not the
yeah,
case. It feels like um, they move in and then they move out. And it
yeah,
feels like the small ones stay together and the big ones stay together. And I feel like that's the case because the big ones can bully the small ones easy. They
yeah,
can rip off an arm or a claw really easy. So the little ones know to stay away from the big ones.
yeah.
So I think they kind of
Yeah,
hang out together.
that's definitely true. Like snaring from the pier, snaring from the jetty, or dropping crab pots. Just like fish, like they tend to similar sizes tend to school
Yeah.
together.
Yeah,
So
I've even like I had one a long time ago. I did like a crab snaring video, and I threw a camera on the crab snare, and like on the footage, there was this like smaller Dungeness, probably like a I don't know 4-inch crab or something. It was feeding on it, and then this like big one, probably a keeper, came along and just like that little one just took off immediately when the big one showed up.
That's cool.
So yeah,
yeah,
I think you're right that like the big ones will easily bully or chase away the smaller ones.
yeah. Yeah, no, I could definitely. I mean, I could see that happening. I mean, it happens. I mean, that's why I think fish of a feather school together, because there's this natural inclination to hover with fish that aren't so small that you want to be territorial and chase them away, and then you're not hanging out with fish that are so big that they're going to chase you away. So I definitely, yeah, I guess it applies in the crab
Interesting.
world. Yeah, I never thought about it. And you know, you don't give like crustaceans like the benefit of the doubt because you just think they're like dumb creatures that just cover the ocean floor just mindlessly eating. But yeah, you know, now that you bring up that point, they definitely seem to herd together in the right size or similar sizes. So
So
yeah,
before I was a kayaker, I did a lot of crab snaring. And
yeah,
tell me this, if this has ever happened to you guys. You throw out your crab snare, and the longer you wait, the bigger the crabs are, I think, because I feel like the small ones they all get there, they're all fighting for it. But when a big one comes, it grabs it and it drags it away, or it
yeah,
bullies them out. And that's why sometimes you're like, oh, I have a crab on it. I have a crab on it. It's moving. The snare's moving.
yeah.
It's like, I feel like it's a crab pulling it away, they're greedy.
Yeah, you know, the biggest crabs I've ever caught on the pier are the ones that I snare, and right before I set it, I can see the tip jumping. Like it's difficult at the pier, Pacifica Pier. I'm not like blowing a spot or anything, but at the Pacifica Pier on the right day when the water's really calm, if there's like a small swell, you need some water movement to have the crabs biting, I think. But I've seen it. I have it on video too in some of my videos where the tip is kind of pumping, almost like a fish is nibbling. And every time I've said it, it's been like a 6.5 inch minimum crab. So, you know, that definitely makes sense. Like in some of my underwater snaring videos, you'll see a little crab and then he gets blown away by the current, and then a big crab comes in, and then he sticks around, and then you snag him. So, you know, that's food for thought. I never really thought, you know, that there was a method to target bigger crabs, and I guess it's just leaving the snare out there a little longer than you want. But it makes sense. Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. So hey, 58 people watching. This is pretty surprising. I didn't think people would be up. Well, I mean, people are up, but we didn't promote the show at all. So this is pretty cool. You guys are sliding into our DMs here. So hey, Nick, cheers to you. I rated my
Cheers.
I rated my wife's shelf in the fridge. This is a lime white claw. So the shelter show is brought to you by alcohol tonight. And I'm gonna have one. I haven't had a white claw in like a long time. I know it's kind of a girly drink, but whatever. I'm out of
Hey,
Pacifico
that's
and
okay.
Manila. Yeah.
Guys can drink White Claw too.
So Adam, what's up, man? What's up, Mr. Full Time? What's it been like to be a
Man,
full-time YouTuber in the last 2 weeks? Has it been official for 2 weeks now?
uh, no, I think it's been official. Actually, I don't know. I don't remember when I dropped the actual like official drop, but I've been basically on the full time grind for about a month and a half. Yeah, about a month and a
Yeah.
half. A
Okay.
month of like really grinding. But so, and someone was asking. I saw someone in the comments. I forgot who it was. I'm sorry, but someone was asking how the grind is. It's definitely a grind to get 3 videos
Yeah.
a week. Is I mean I knew it was going to be tough from the beginning, but
Yeah.
now I can confirm that it's definitely tough.
Yeah, one of your videos, I don't think it was your last one because you posted one today. It's the
Yeah,
one where you had like a little cameo in your garage. Excuse me, your cameo in your garage,
that was the one.
and you're just like your hair's all like long and crazy and matted, and you just like some bags under your eyes, and I think I saw the grind in your face in that one.
Yeah, yeah, it's tough. Like I'll just let like Monday I'm trying to post a vid. I don't have any footage, so it's gonna have to come between now and then if I'm gonna make it for Monday.
So let me ask. Okay, so you used to fish recreationally like the rest of us because you had a full-time minimum 40-hour a week job. Now that you're not working a typical job and you're going full-time YouTube, fishing time, um, putting away your kayak and washing your gear time, uploading footage time, and then editing to posting time. How many hours a week have you been putting into this?
Uh I'd say okay. I've been doing my best not to fish on the weekends because
Yeah,
well, you know it's good to take a break, and just the weekends are crowded in general, anyways, with
yeah.
this whole thing going on. So
Especially nowadays, yeah.
yeah. So I've been trying to stay mainly to the week. I know I fished a couple of weekend days, the past month, but an average week, I'd say I'm somewhere in like the 60 to 70 hours range.
Wow. So
Is
that's
that a good?
combined.
Is that a
That's
good thing or a bad thing?
It's I don't know. For me, it's a good thing. It's a grind, so it's not like everything's great, but it's been fun for me. Yeah, it's a nice challenge.
Yeah.
I before, like when I set this 3 video a week, goal of mine, I kind of was thinking like I always wanted to be like a tournament angler, but I never was a bass angler, so I didn't want to, like, if there was like a surf perch or like striped bass like tourney, like that'd be
Yeah.
I'd be all over that, but there isn't.
It's all about the salt water, man.
Yeah.
No
So
fresh water.
Yeah. There's no I don't even say community, but there's no like organization that's in place to make surf tournaments a regular thing well enough where you can win enough prize money to add it to your income for fishing
so now this
professionally.
is my way of like I gotta catch a fish to like not to win a tournament, but to post a video, because I'm trying to get the three a week deal. But
Yeah.
so
Hey, now this is like a question. Okay, so let's set the stage for everyone. So for so I want people to be able to relate to how tough this is, right? So let's say you're an average person, you have a full-time job, so you work minimum say 36 hours a week. Average is like 40 if you're doing an 8 to 5 with a 1 hour lunch, right? Some of you guys, work a lot of OT, so let's say 50 hours. So Adam went, let's say, from a 40-hour a week office job, because I know he had an office job, minimum 40 hours to minimum 60 hours, right? And I'm gonna assume that the difference in your pay periods is like significantly lower at this time. So this is like the investment era right now. So right, so Adam, if anything, is probably operating in the red and going to be operating in the red mentally, maybe I don't know about financially, but mentally at least, and then time wise he's going to be working at a deficit for a while to lay the tracks down for what hopefully is success. So I ask you this as a friend, and I try to stay away from this for the bigger YouTubers because they got over to that hump, but it's definitely like an uphill battle, right? You're not going to hit this peak where it's worth it yet, right? So as you're climbing up this hill, going to this imaginary peak, right, to get to that break-even point, to where then it's like a fun ride and you're making money even while you're sleeping.
Yeah.
Is it sucking the fun out of fishing?
I don't think so. I mean, like I said, I'm just starting. Like I'm only a month or whatever in, so
Yeah.
I can't say for a long term, but not yet. I'll just say that, not yet. Like, I'm so excited. Honestly, I really wanted to go kayak fishing tomorrow because the weather's really good, and I'm just,
Do it.
Fish, but I'm restraining. So
is that a self-imposed restraint, or is that a wifey Olaf restraint?
It's a little bit of both. But yeah, no, I don't think it's taking the fun out. I'm still like, I don't know. You can ask Nick. Did I seem like I was having fun out there yesterday?
Oh yeah, man. And I'll give you an A for effort for yesterday, man. Like it was really tough fishing, and it started raining, and the wind started coming out, and Taku and I wanted to go home, but Adam just wanted to keep fishing, man. And he put in the time, and he found the fish. He really did. It's not lucky Adam catches all this fish. He puts in the time, and it doesn't look like it on YouTube, but it's it's impressive.
For anyone that fishes, like it's rare that Adam skunks, and so I'm sure a majority of you guys in the live stream have like real lives and responsibilities outside of fishing, and so there's always like a ticking clock, right? You got to get back to something. Adam doesn't have that quite in his life yet, and he's making this like push to go full-time on YouTube to take advantage of the fact that he doesn't have this ticking clock, whether it be a wife calling him to have the kids change or his boss calling him looking for that like presentation, right? So even with that said, he's never been the one to pick up and go. Like anytime I've gone fishing with him, it's always me saying, all right, man, I gotta cut out. And then he'll be like, all right, no problem, I'll go. but he'll go as long as like I'm willing to go. And when he's on his own, I mean, you've seen his fishing videos where he's like last casting it and the sun's going down. So that's the one thing like I think people don't understand. Like if you watch a Matt's video, if you watch a Chenzi video, right? I feel like these guys are all in the same boat in that they start their day like in the morning. By the time the catch and cook is done, they have their flashlights on and the sun is set. So that means they've been out there for like, man, like 12 hours filming enough content to then edit later. And that takes many hours to then put together like a 15 to 20-minute video. And so, for someone like Matt's that was there early, but also has great content, it's worth it for him. For anyone starting out, it's like, man, you got to put in some serious hours just to create content. And then Adam's doing this at least up until now 3 times a week, and he's been killing it. So, yeah, he's definitely on the grind. And big cheers to Elizabeth for making this happen, and Olaf, wherever you're at, Olaf, for allowing him to chase his dream. Because if Adam was I don't know if Adam, do you think you would do this if you were single? Like, do you think you would have been able to sock away enough money to, or even if you were, like, do you think you would have made taken the risk if you didn't have that secondary income to help the household move along?
Yeah, I've thought about that, and to be honest, I feel like I still would have, but it would have been an even bigger risk because, yeah, just being on your own, like just as an adult, like you need health insurance, all this other stuff. You don't think about it really when you're a kid, but yeah, honestly, I think I would have still done it, but I'm grateful that I don't have to be totally alone in the adventure. So yeah, like said Ish, I can't thank Elizabeth enough for her sacrifices and everything she's done. Like I always tell people, like people always think like, oh yeah, it's like, oh, it must be great to be like Elizabeth or whoever, like you get fresh fish, like, oh, it's all this great stuff, whatever, Adam's famous, blah blah blah. But like then in addition to that, what people don't think about, like I'm waking up at 6 a.m., I'm smelling up the kitchen, cleaning my halibut and cooking my crab.
Your kitchen must smell awful.
Yeah. Elizabeth has a nice like row of candles that I like when I'm doing some cleaning. So
yeah.
So yeah, there's also a lot of negatives that go along with it. I think people don't always think about. So
yeah, the behind the scenes of the YouTube grind. I think a lot of people assume that like you fall into the fame and the money. And I use that term loosely with us, but for anyone, at least at Taku's level, there definitely is like some gravity to the terms fame and fortune, because I mean, in my mind, doing the very, very like rough numbers, extrapolating what I make at my level to what they make, they're doing pretty good. So especially Matt's, because as far as I know, he's a sole proprietor of that Fisherman's Life sham that he has going on. or no, not sham. What's the term? Shenanigans, I guess. But Outdoor Chef Life. When talking to him, and we talked to everyone live. That's a 2-person outfit, and those 2 people diving into the waters, with their fingers crossed. But yeah, at least Adam, you have a kind of I want to say a safety net, but this is the perfect time to do this full time.
Yeah, and honestly, that's like I've said before, like my channel's not the size of like a Taku or Matt's when they went full time. So, but like you said, this is like the time to try it. So that's why I'm going for it now, all or nothing. And yeah, we'll see how it goes.
Yeah. The one cool thing about YouTube, though, I will say, for anyone looking to get into it, if you have good content, there's the benefit to the community. So you're spreading knowledge that people can definitely use to improve their lives. Essentially, if they like fishing, they watch your video, they become a better fisherman because of it. They're happier with the passion, or they're developing a greater passion for what they're doing. You're benefiting somebody's life, essentially. On the monetary end, nice thing about YouTube is that if you have content people like to watch, you have this evergreen property. And anyone know what that means? Evergreen means it's something that's always sustaining, something that's always paying off, basically. Like my review videos, I get way more traction with my product review videos. Um, and even if I don't post like fresh content, people still go to my real review videos because people appreciate the amount of attention and detail I go into presenting information that helps them make a better purchase decision. And so those videos, way more than my standard fishing videos, especially my catch and cooks, have this evergreen property in that they're always getting views. There's something always trickling in to sustain the cost of running the channel when I'm filming full time, and well, not full time, when I'm on my regular mini grind, I guess. So anyway, I always
So what you're saying is you're going to get YouTube checks for the rest of your life?
as long as they're selling as long as the Battle 2 and the Daiwa BG are still relevant products, those are the two real shoring up.
I think the BG will be here for a long time.
Yeah, those are the two real shoring up the Ish with Fish channel. But I bring this up because a lot of people that do tune in and watch, they want to know what it's like to get started, what the payoffs are, because I think a lot of people, they start and then they realize like, shit, this is a lot of work. I only have like 80 people watching me. I only get like 20 views a month, and then they bail. So to incentivize you to keep doing it, I'm just sharing like what I've learned and my successes, I guess, my mini successes. So anyways, so you guys ready for salmon or what? Did Adam, did PK ever reach out to you? This is something that I want to bring up to both of you guys.
Yeah.
Okay, so Nick, actually, this is cool that you're here because you're a fellow kayak guy. So PK, aka Oregon Life Now, he reached out to me privately and said, so if you guys watch that interview, I asked him if he would ever consider taking a kayak out into the ocean, at least around here in the Bay Area. He's like, absolutely not. That's like above my pay grade. Scared of sharks, blah, blah, blah. Well, he must have like watched Adam's like halibut videos and got inspired. Because he reached out to me privately and said, you know what, I've changed my mind. I want to get into saltwater kayaking. I don't know where to start. Can you give me some tips? And so perfect time to discuss. So for anybody in the comments, and we do see you guys in the comments, and we will get to your questions. Just really quickly, especially for anyone in the comments, maybe this bit of the show will help out. Adam, we'll start with Adam. Adam, if there's somebody coming to you with a question about getting into saltwater kayak fishing, especially in Northern California, because it's very different compared to Southern California, in 2 minutes, what would you tell them to look for?
So first thing I would say is like, do your research on the safety equipment. I don't know. I guess I'm the poster for safety now, but it is really important because there's a lot of things that, well, even me personally, when I first got a kayak, I didn't think about, or I thought about it and I said, oh, that's not that important. I don't need it. So definitely like highly consider, don't even consider, like just do your research on that. But secondly, on the buying the kayak, well, first you got to figure out what your price range is. Obviously the higher you go, the more flexibility you have on what you can get. Ocean kayaking for me, pedal kayak is like required. It's necessary because you can see my arms, they're pretty small here. I'm not going to be able to pedal back from wherever I'm going, but
same.
Yeah. So if you think about it that way, like pedal kayaks minimum, I think you're going to spend, even if you go used, you're going to be spending at least $1,500 with the kayak and all the accessories you're going to get. And that's just on a minimum. I mean, if you buy new and you get you could be spending upwards of like $4,000 to $5,000. So, I mean, just keep that in mind off the bat. Then after that, there's like all these different variables, and there's stability, versus speed. Obviously, the skinnier kayaks are going to be less stable, but you're going to be able to track better and get more distance for your pedal, I guess.
Yeah, that's why Moo, he tests all sorts of kayaks, but the one kayak he has is a Hobie Revo because it's so light, it's so efficient, and a lot of the kayaking that he does is trolling. And then too, like when you're saltwater kayaking, you're going like, I don't know, again, I'm a novice, but in my very limited experience, you're doing like 5 times the distance at a minimum saltwater to get to the spots. If you're
Yeah.
trolling, you're just constantly kicking, and you want that much more efficiency, right, in your pedaling.
Hmm.
So yeah,
Totally, that makes a big difference.
yeah,
But
yeah,
what people don't know about Moose kayak is it's actually really tippy. It's it's a lot tippier than the Outbacks that you guys
yeah,
use.
Yeah.
yeah,
Um, like I take off my Amas and my AI is very similar to the Revo,
hmm,
and man, it's scary. You have to think about it while you're fishing. So like I was gonna say that if you're looking to get into kayak fishing, you got to realize that you're getting into two sports here. You're getting into kayaking and you're getting into fishing. And kayaking alone is a whole thing that you have to learn.
yeah,
And it's just the basics, the safety, just all that. Keeping your gear strapped on so you don't lose gear.
yeah,
Just
Yeah.
yeah.
Another thing that I would sorry to interrupt you, Nick, but another thing that I like recommend to people is like, I know this is tough and sometimes you just can't do it, but if it's any way possible to like borrow someone's kayak for a day,
Danny.
yeah. If it's possible to do that, like try it, because there's a lot of like, transporting a kayak, pedaling all day. Like it sounds okay, but you should actually try it to see if it's something you actually want to get into before you
yeah,
attempt.
don't buy it brand new because as soon as you buy a brand new kayak, you're going to take a hit, a 15-20% hit. Um,
Look at that.
because
The YouTube community already reaching out saying, send PK my way and he can borrow a kayak.
there you go.
That's a fun thing about YouTube and the fishing community, especially the kayak community. Everyone's really helpful. You
Yeah.
know why? You know why? Because for anyone in the comments or watching right now, let's say you're dedicated shore angler and you love that shore based life. Um, I don't think you understand how much work kayaking is just to get to the water. We're up, and by we, anyone that kayaks or has kayak and seen success on it, we're up an hour and a half earlier than you guys. We're putting our stuff away an hour or two longer than you guys. You put in a ton of work. It's almost like not fun until you get out in
Yeah.
the water. Then it's totally worth it. But to get out there, especially crabbing, like you are working. And so I think people that have done it and like it enough to do it regularly, there's definitely like a brotherhood on the water where you kind of look at each other and like, yeah, I know what's up. And then you like walk past the guys and their waders and then just chucking their bucktails or sand crabs, and you're like, fucking losers.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
kayak community is a great community.
Yeah,
Nobody in the community wants anybody to get hurt or die.
yeah,
So everybody's really helpful. So
yeah.
just ask
And
if you're ever.
everyone's like, for the like, I'd say 99% of the people I've met, they're so nice. You can't say that about every surf
Yeah,
striper fisherman, right?
that's true.
It's the opposite. Yeah, it's
Yes.
they're so territorial and competitive. You get
Yeah.
on the kayak and it's like the complete opposite. Everyone's like, "Hey, what's up, bro?
Yeah,
What's
I
going
feel
on,
like
man?"
I think someone told me this before, but I feel like kayak anglers, like we're so I mean, not to like downgrade people, but I mean we're so like almost not dependent, but you could be dependent on another kayak angler if something bad happens. So like
Definitely.
think of it like
It's all
I'm not
fun and games until somebody gets killed, right?
yeah. So like someone like shore anglers, if someone like if I don't know, you can't like get a leak in your waders and sink to the bottom. Like you can get a leak in your kayak and seriously your kayak can sink to the bottom and you'll need another kayaker
Get hit
or
by a boat.
someone to help you. Yeah, exactly.
Oscar
Yeah.
Garcia says, "Hey, hey, bucktails for life," and then he goes, "Man, I feel downgraded."
No.
No, I'm
Shore
not.
fishing is fun.
No, the one thing about shore fishermen, uh, you are you don't know what you're missing, right? And in a sense, because you're limited. Um, you're so limited now because you guys don't have, like, to me, shore fishing is like a 2D space. Kayak fishing is like entering a new dimension. It's like a 3D space. But because you're restricted to only 2 dimensions, you are like inherently a better angler because you have to work with less resources to get the fish. Because the fish are like in this narrow band of water along the shoreline, and you have to be that much better to get them. Like honestly, like the one thing I noticed about kayaking is that it's more effective for me to put meat in the bag and then content on YouTube. So like I would rather, I used to fish every day for like a few hours in the morning around tides. Now I find myself fishing every other week off my kayak instead, because I can then spend a day putting more meat in the bag. And I make no bones about it. Like I'm a catch and keep angler, and I don't really release much if it's legal, because I'm out there for keeps, right? And I don't catch enough to like really get into the conversation of the CNR, CPR, whatever. But yeah, I definitely found that kayaking makes me a more efficient meat gatherer. And I come home to my wife in the cave and my two spawn, and I put meat on the table, and my family eat
That's that's
protein,
what fishing is about.
and
That's why people like
I feel
fishing.
good.
Exactly. That's why people like fishing. That's why people like cooking. It's providing for your family. It feels good to do something that your family can survive off of, that they
Yeah,
appreciate.
yeah,
But that brings me to a point that people think that kayaking is so easy, though. It's easy. It's easy, right? Once you understand it and get the hang of it. But when you first get out on the ocean as a kayaker, you really notice how big the ocean is and how small you are, and
yeah,
how the fish are just, they're hard to find. It's a big place out there. And there's a rule in fishing called the 90-10 rule. And 90% of the whole ocean is a desert. There's no fish there. But
yeah,
that 10% is where the fish hang out. And that's very similar to how humans are, right? Most of the humans, they live along the coasts. Most humans, they live in big cities, so they stay together. But of course, you get the stragglers that are out on the farms, out in the rural areas, you know.
yeah,
Um, so in fishing, if you're not catching anything, move. Find a new spot. Try to find that 10%. Because once you find that 10%, you're gonna that's that's when you see people limiting all the time, catching fish like one after another. Um,
yeah.
you got to keep moving. So I saw in the comments somebody was like, "Can you explain your rock fishing technique?" And so that's basically a big main point for my rock fishing is I am moving. I'm constantly moving, but once I find something, I stick with it until there's nothing left.
Yeah. So Nick obviously just taking everything.
Yeah. So if there's any fish left, you did something wrong. You must deplete the whole fishery.
That's right.
If you
We're
didn't finish, come back the next day, do it again.
mindful of the 10 rockfish per person per day.
I'm kidding,
What,
guys. I'm kidding.
what's it? No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, yeah, whatever. Rock fishing is a good it's a good way to start getting into kayaking. The nice thing about rock fishing is that the rocks don't move. So typically, if you find that like honey hole, that point, that drop, that ledge, mark it on your fish finder. And if the tide or the swell rather is right and the current is right, you can go back to that area repeatedly. Sometimes big fish are going to be there. Sometimes small fish are going to be there, but there's always going to be something there. So if you just want action, go rock fishing. One thing I've kind of picked up recently is that if you're fishing the ocean and you're fishing for multi-species, right? You're planning on getting rockfish and halibut and whatever. Don't forget that once you have a rockfish in possession, you can only target anything else with one rod, right? So
Yes.
save your fishing for last. So if you're going for
Same thing with salmon. If you have a salmon on board, like you're forced to one rod and barbless hooks.
Barbless, yeah.
yeah,
If you're mooching like with bait, you have to use barbless circle hooks.
right, yeah. And that's the other thing, like too, if you're getting into kayak fishing, all of a sudden you're exposed to vessel rules, and so if you aren't fishing regularly on a vessel, you have to know how to target. You have to be more mindful of the tackle that you're using, and just it's a whole new like chapter in the ever growing DFW handbook of rules and stuff. But yeah, so to Adam's point and then Nick's point too, safety is paramount, and we'll talk about the infamous speed bump video, of course, because I think everyone's like wants to know Nick's point of view because they've heard Adam's point of view. But if anything, I would say safety is paramount. Like in my first not even kayak videos, but when I was going out on my little Sevler raft, like I just assumed I would survive and I'd die, I'm an invincible, blah, blah, blah. And like looking back on it, like, man, that was really dumb. Even when I went out in my kayak for the first time, I had a wetsuit. It was a surf wetsuit. It was like a 2-3 mil, not really designed for submersion because you're out out of the water most of the time when you're surfing because you're waiting for a wave, right? So it's not really designed for immersion. Like a proper kayak suit is designed for immersion. And so I definitely took my safety for granted and just assumed I'd be okay. So in my best personal like fishing, one of my all-time like best fishing days was my meat haul video where I caught like all this crazy stuff. But I was wearing like board shorts and like and like water sock shoes.
You didn't have a paddle?
No, that was another video. Like I went
Oh.
out and I forgot my paddle. But actually, the very first time I went out on my kayak, I forgot my paddle at home. And so, just all these things you take for granted. And so, like, I think that's the number one. Like, if you get into it, safety is paramount. Have all the right stuff. Adam just posted a video where he shows the things that you should have. The one thing he's missing from there is a compass, because I was actually out at Pillar once and I got like super fogged in, and
No,
I could
yeah,
not.
it's scary.
I could not tell north from west to east, and I never realized like when you're in like super deep fog, your GPS on your phone can get fucked up too. So I reset
Really?
I reset my phone
I
like
never knew
5
that.
times, and like my compass was spinning. Like even on Google Maps, I couldn't find true north. So I remember panicking a little bit, but then I also remembered I'm not that far from shore. I could hear one, and
Foghorn?
I couldn't hear the foghorn. It was so crazy. I couldn't hear the foghorn because I was far enough away where I couldn't hear it, but I could hear the traffic on one, and I could hear the wave breaks at that beach there, right? And so I found kind of where the sound was. I went north, which seemed like forever. I was probably kicking for like 30 minutes. And then I started hearing the foghorn, and then I pointed myself towards it, and then it felt like forever, but it was probably like another 20 minutes. All of a sudden I saw the South Jetty. And so just another thing to remember, have a compass and know how to use it. I'm PADI certified. The first thing you learn is how to use a compass, especially when you're underwater. It's really easy to lose sense of direction, and so you actually learn how to use a compass underwater. You mark your point A, where you want to go, how to turn around, and then head back based on your compass reading. And so definitely have a compass. But what I wanted to get to is, if you're a motorcycle rider, the big motto is don't dress for the ride, dress for the slide. Because if you're a motorcycle owner or rider, you will go down at some point. It might be like tipping over
It's
in your
not
driveway.
if. It's not
It's
if,
when.
it's when. Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely
Same
not
with
if,
kayaking.
but when. Yeah. So in my mind, like when you buy a kayak, if you're considering buying a kayak, think of this motto: don't dress for the ride, dress for the dive. Because just like motorcycling, it's a matter of when. And yeah, so you definitely want to be safe. So yeah, so now that I have you two, I think we're losing Adam pretty soon, but maybe before he takes
Go
off.
ahead. 2 minutes.
Yeah, maybe before he takes off. The infamous speed bump video. I know that everyone knows Adam's point of view, but Nick, what was it like to see Adam almost get like nailed out there? Speaking of safety.
It was crazy. It was crazy. I've never
Yeah.
experienced anything like that.
Like, did you
But
think he was like, oh, there go Adam is dead. He's going to be a dead person.
I wasn't scared because he didn't even get knocked off his boat. He he just lost his coconut. He lost a couple things. But
yeah.
It was pretty crazy. You feel kind of helpless because it's kind of like being a bicycle on a road. A car hits you and then just takes off. You can't really do anything about it.
Yeah. But dude, props to you for chasing that fool down, because it like Adam and I, like, like for anyone that, I mean, it's obvious, like we all kind of stay in touch with each other on chats and stuff. And so I don't know, like I always imitate what I love to imitate what Nick was saying to that guy. But that was so, dude, you are like a great wingman, and like thank you for going after that guy, because you like he actually stopped and you were able to catch up to him and have that dialogue with him. And I think you were saying what Adam is too nice to say, frankly, right? And I think you were saying what a lot of people that watched that video or aware of the incident would have said, short of like, motherfucker, I want to find where you live.
No, yeah, I'm sure if anybody else was out there, they would have done the same thing.
Yeah.
I don't
Just,
think, was that the first time that we fished together?
I'm not sure, man. That was,
I think it was. And our friendship now is cemented because of
yeah,
that.
there you go. Well, that brings me to a point that my kayak friends are, honestly, I trust them with my life more than some of my real life friends.
You know,
I've had best friends that I've had since elementary school, and something comes up where they're embarrassed to tell me or something, and it's like if I really needed them there, I don't know if they would actually be there, or if my life was in danger, would they jump in danger to save me? Like, kayaking is, you need to know who you're kayaking with.
yeah,
Don't just go with some random guy.
yeah,
Um,
yeah,
go with somebody that will have your back if you're in trouble.
yeah.
And
That
yeah, go ahead.
that's
Sorry.
100% true. Like same with diving. Like you are very selective with your dive buddies, and you want to have, because your life is on the line when you're under the water for extended amount of time. So you definitely want to be very selective of who you're going out into the elements with. And so everyone on the Zoom call except for June, I trust to get my ass to safety if things go downhill. The ocean is big, but as Adam proved, you're definitely not immune to the dangers that could happen. 'Cause it's not like yourself and the kayakers that you have to worry about. It's like Mother Nature, of course, and then like jerk off boaters. You don't need a license to operate a boat in
Yeah.
California, right? So anyone can get behind the steering wheel of a vessel and steer it. And so a lot of those people don't have the facilities to operate correctly. And Adam proved you can get tagged. Big wide open ocean, boom, still got hit. So what up, June?
So,
What's up? What's up? What's
oh,
up, everybody? Hi, Nick. What's up, Nick?
hey, June.
Yeah,
How's it
yeah, we almost replaced you. Nick's been pretty good so far.
going?
June, there's
So
only
busy.
room for one of us here.
We're gonna have to have a fish off, whether it be on shore or kayak. We'll have
Fight to the death.
yeah, we'll have to let
Just
the
give us
sub-
a stick. Just give us a fishing rod, sharp in the end, and fight to the death.
Hey, what's going on?
What's up,
What's up,
man?
guys?
What's up, June? How's it going, man?
Not much. Busy, man. I just finished my meeting, and then right after I'm done with the other meeting, and I texted you, see
Work
if I can
meeting?
still join.
Yeah,
Yeah.
work meeting, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, June grinding it too. Like we were talking earlier about Adam's full-time YouTube grind, but then there's like the real life grind of full-time business, some YouTube here and there, and then 4 children.
Yeah. Is that right? Hear
Hey,
that?
look, I heard it. Yeah,
Busy, man. Work,
yeah,
fishing, everything. Oh my gosh, too many. I think this pandemic makes us more busier than ever. I don't know, for some reason. My kids, everyday school.
yeah,
I think that's why we put them in a school, because we want the teacher to teach them. Now we end up teaching them.
yeah. Yeah, you don't realize how important teachers are until you have to become the teacher.
Exactly. Oh
yeah,
my gosh. My time is like, oh, and then it's a third grade homework and I'm struggling.
yeah. All right. We're gonna have to ask
Anyways.
June some multiplication, some basic multiplication.
Oh
Hey,
my
so just want to take this opportunity again to say thanks to everyone watching. We have 83 people watching now. Again, these channels wouldn't exist without the subs. So let's say hi to the subs and maybe answer some questions. So I don't think we've gotten a chance to say hi to everyone, and we do see what you're saying. So if Nick, June, Adam, if you guys saw any questions in the comments, feel free to bring them up and see if we can give them a proper answer.
Let's see.
How is Adam never cold wearing shorts in the surf? That's from Cubby Malone 49.
A lot. Okay, I'll say a couple things. One, you just got to go for it. Just yeah, it's like jumping into a cold pool. You just got to go for it. You can't like tiptoe in, here and there. And two, I don't know. I just don't get like I don't go past, or I try at least not to go past like knee level. So as long as my like shorts stay dry for the most part at least, and my shirt's dry, I don't know. And I wear more clothing on the upper half of my butt, like beanie, neck scarf. Like sometimes I'll wear a ski jacket out there. And I don't know. I guess for me it works, but I definitely like I don't really recommend it to other people because I don't know. If you want to go fishing for a long time and like put in the hours out there, waders are the way to go, to be honest.
Wait, the question is why? Why you don't wear
So
waders?
originally, like when I was younger, I had a pair of waders, like when I was like maybe 12, 13. But I just hated having to wash them after every time I came home from the beach. So I just said, screw
Oh.
that, no waders. I'm gonna be cold, and that's fine. Just to shorten up the cleanup time.
Yo, I tried the shorts life for a while. I think it ended at your tourney last year, June, because
Yeah,
like
I heard.
I get to a point where like I can't feel my feet and just things start shutting down. And once a wave like hits your cherries, it's all over.
Well,
Game.
don't do that. That's what I'm saying. Stay below the knees. Knees below.
Yeah. It's game
I've
over,
done that
man.
before, but it's
game
just
over.
hard. You get wet, and
Well,
then you
duh.
have a spare, like a spare underwear and shorts, because
Yeah.
you can't. You're gonna be wet.
Yeah,
I don't know how you do it, Adam.
okay, so well, I think too he was like, raised in the like Santa
That's true.
Cruz waters, which are like significantly
Yeah.
different than what they are around
Yeah.
here. And so I try to wear shorts when I go down there. Wearing shorts is so nice. It's like one less step. You don't have to worry about socks and boots and shoes or whatever. And then when you get to your car, you just like rinse your legs off and you go, or you just jump in and you take off. And it's like it is so nice to wear shorts. And so I can see why a lot of people do it. But man, on a cold day like in Pacifica,
It's
there's no way I can do it.
The
No way I can do it.
The
And
worst
the
part
waves. The
is
waves.
like I haven't even filmed that many YouTube videos, but I used to fish the night more often for striped bass in the surf. Those are like if you can go shorts during those days, then you're like good for anything because those are definitely the worst by far.
No, sir. Hey,
I think
really
it's
quick.
also a disadvantage. If
What's that?
you're wearing shorts, 'cause, if you are on a wader, and at least you can get for me, when I fish for striped bass, I want to go my lure as far as I can, and
Yeah.
then I want to cover more water.
My
But
thinking is like
wearing shorts, if you don't want to go deep, you just
yeah.
there's
Yeah.
There's definitely times when I'm out there and I kind of wish I had waders because I could get out a little bit farther. But
Yeah, shorts at low tide is it sucks because the fish are like way out there and you're like waiting to find holes. And even on a nice day, anything north of Santa Cruz, man, your Olympia is like
Yeah.
gone.
Yeah, but what I tell myself is like if you're wading past your knee level, that water is deep enough for fish to be in there already. So
Yeah.
that's what I tell myself. But there's I'll agree with you that there's times when having the waders is definitely beneficial to get it out to those spots that you can't necessarily access.
Before I miss it, Ricardo Nuno says, "Hey Ish, what are your thoughts on buying a Sea-Doo Fish Pro jet skiing for fishing?" I'm glad you asked that. I came real close to buying a Project Sea-Doo and turning it into a fishing vessel. Like I've only seen it done a few times out in Pillar, and I've seen guys. It's like the same guy over and over. But it makes sense to have a Sea-Doo dedicated for fishing because, like, especially outside of Pillar, and like some of the like flatter like Bay Area launches, like just something like really small that you can sit on. Like I usually just like have time to fish by myself. Like I don't see, and I don't have room for a boat, but a small trailer and a Sea-Doo just seems like practical for me. Like just going out to a reef, getting my limit to a rockfish and then like zipping back in. Something I've always kind of like thought like would take off in the Bay Area. I'm not sure why it really hasn't. And then boom, I got offered a proper dingy, that inflatable that I haven't actually opened up yet. It's like 12 foot, like a little mini Kodiak dingy thing. And so that kind of scrapped that idea. But I'm a proponent of a little Sea-Doo dedicated to fishing. I think that would be like so fun. I mean, I don't know how it would do trolling, like because you're just like putting your 2-stroke. I guess you could. I guess they're 4 strokes too. But I don't know if I ever found the right one and had extra money laying around, I think I would totally try to do that. Sounds like something that people don't do, but I don't know. I think I would totally give it a shot.
I think it gets done more in like maybe on the East Coast or even in Southern California. But I know like they even have like Sea-Doos or jet skis that are specifically designed for fishing.
Yeah, I know they're big.
That's my next level. That's what I'm going to do after kayaking.
Is it
Everybody does that in Hawaii.
Yeah. Yeah. I watch a couple there's a guy out of, I think it's Australia, where he does like just Sea-Doo fishing, and he's catching like gigantic fish on this like awesome Sea-Doo. It's big and it's like completely rigged up. I also follow this girl called BA Fishing. Have you heard of her? She's
No.
based out of Florida. So she started as a sup fisherman. So she would only fish off a stand-up paddleboard, and she folded in a Sea-Doo, a fishing Sea-Doo vessel into her videos, and she goes out and like catches gigantic like kingfish and wahoo. BA Fishing. Like if you guys like, she's not just like eye candy. I mean, she's very pretty too. But if you guys like fishing videos in Florida, BA Fishing, I definitely recommend her because she's not only like she's a good fisherwoman, but she has a Sea-Doo setup and it looks like a ton of fun. Yeah.
Well, not to drop out on you guys, but I'm gonna go get my Sea-Doo right now. So I'll let you guys.
Adam. See ya.
All right, Adam. Peace.
Yeah, Adam.
Guys,
I'll be in Monterey tomorrow if you want to join.
I wish, man. I wish. So
Anyone fishing tomorrow?
I'm going to be fishing tomorrow. Going for squid and sand dabs.
Peace, Adam.
See ya, Adam.
Guys, until the 91 or whatever people are watching, have a good night.
Oh, 91. Nice.
Oh, look at us. Hey, Matt's is in the chat. He says that he's almost certain they're illegal to use here for fishing, only supposed to be used for rescue on the West Coast. I was close to getting one before the butter boat too. I've never seen a regulation against a Sea-Doo, and I don't know why. I don't see why there would be a regulation against it. I mean,
but I have never seen one on the water before, so that could be true.
In the saltwater.
I've never seen a jet ski out there, even in Half Moon Bay Harbor, where it's really calm.
I see people, I don't want to say it all the time, but on 2 different times I've seen guys just like ripping out there, like way past they're creating wakes and they're going past 5 miles an hour.
In jet skis?
In jet skis. Like they're just taking advantage of the flat water. So that's illegal for sure. But going
fishing?
Out, not fishing, just recreational riding. But I'm surprised. Yeah. I mean, I've seen a few guys out there on the Pillar Reefs with Sea-Doos fishing. And I don't know. Maybe if it is illegal, maybe they didn't know it was illegal. So maybe Matt just saved me like $5,000. But it just seems like it would be like a fun thing to do. But yeah, I would think it would be difficult though to like you could only like really go out on certain swells. Like you're really kind of confined to like near shore stuff. So it would be a big investment to cover only certain amounts of water, I guess. But they do it in like Florida, New Zealand.
They're really
Hawaii.
efficient on gas too.
That's true. Yeah. That's true. Sea-Doos are fun too. Yeah.
I need to get my kayak first before getting into that.
Okay, so
what's taking so long, June?
Dude, I'm telling you, it's my schedule. It's just not necessary to me. I mean, if I buy a kayak, it's just gonna be sitting here. I'm not gonna be able to use it because my time is only 2 hours to get out and fish.
That's
By
true.
the time I go to Half Moon Bay, it's already an hour just setting up.
Yeah, I did mention earlier that the
And then
immediate
an
difference.
hour to put it all back.
Yeah, the immediate
Exactly.
difference between a surf angler and a kayaker is that just double the amount, maybe triple the amount of prep time to
Yeah.
load up and go, and then when you come back to clean it all up. Like my wife hates it when I go out because in the kayak because I say, oh, I'll be home at 2, but I come home at 2 if I come home at 2, and then I'm like out there scrubbing and cleaning.
Yeah.
For the next 2 hours because you really need to pay attention to your gear and make sure that your fish finder is like rinsed off and the battery is taken out and cleaned up and charged. And if you had a
That's
good day,
half fishing and half kayaking, right?
yeah,
So if you buy your first kayak, don't buy an expensive one because you're gonna learn from mistakes on your
Yeah.
kayak,
for sure.
and you're
Yeah.
gonna ruin your kayak.
Yeah.
So
Like today, I just went out today for an hour. I went to buy pizza. My wife asked me to buy pizza. I went out and I'm like, maybe I can do some plugging for an hour because the pizza it took me like 30 minutes to get the pizza. So I fished. I got a bite. I didn't land it though, but see
Yeah.
that's surf fishing. You
Yeah.
can't do that in kayak, and that's
No,
my
kayak
schedule.
fishing, you need to dedicate like a day. Yeah,
but
at least half a
kayaking
day.
is kind of just like that for boating, right? For boating, it's even more hard, like even
Yeah.
more hard to go fishing once a
Yeah.
week, like once a month, like cleaning it up after, preparing it before. Like kayaking makes it easy to go after those big game fish that all the boats go after, except it's just as easy as going surfing. Like you just
Yeah.
load up your kayak and you go, and
Well, yeah, as far
that's
as
what I love about it.
like
It's
land-based fishing and then like boating as far as time commitments, like kayaking fills like the gap in the
yeah,
middle
it's in
like
the
really
middle, yeah.
well. Yeah. I mean, obviously like we're limited on distance, but still, the nice thing about like 90% of the saltwater species you can target from a kayak. Like it's not like we have like gigantic like yellowtail and yellowfin and bluefin runs that are like right out the gate where it's like just beyond kayak range. Everything that you would want to target like comes in near shore or is already available near shore within kayak range. So, as far as Bay Area fishing, what I've learned having a kayak is that you can catch like almost everything you can catch on a boat, but off a kayak. And I mean, Adam has proved it in the last 2 weeks with the stuff he's caught.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the advantage of having kayak, of course, variety
Yeah.
of that you can catch.
Yeah. So hey, Nick, somebody says like Nick is just like sitting there with a popper. What's up with that popper, Nick? Those poppers are nice.
Yeah, just playing with it. I didn't know you guys could see. Oh, you mean this thing?
Yes.
The Nick fish popper?
Yeah. Hey, Nick, how could we
Is it
buy
really?
those? Yeah, he has
Yeah,
his own
no.
popper.
So
Tell us the story.
I'll tell you the story behind this. So I was a shore fisherman for a long time before I was a kayak fisherman. I fish a lot in Mexico and California and Hawaii. But
Oh man.
this lure, so my father has a place down in Cabo San Lucas. And
Lucky.
so when I go down there, there's a tackle shop down there called Jansen Tackle.
Okay.
And you guys can look him up on YouTube. He is the coolest shore fisherman ever.
Who is it?
He catches rooster fish, mahi off the
Is
beach.
Is this Cabo Surfcaster?
No, this is look up Jansen. Jansen
Okay.
Fishing Cabo.
Okay.
And so in Cabo, the ocean is really rough. The waves are really big. It's really weird when you go to the beach. There's so many people on the beach, but nobody's in the water because it's like the waves. You go in there and you're dead, man. So Cabo, the key to fishing is casting distance. So you need to be able to get over those breakers. If you can't get over those breakers, then you won't even be catching fish. So there's a Mexican tackle company designed for long distance casting, and they're my absolute favorite tackle company. And they had a popper. It's a very similar popper to this, actually almost exactly the same. And this is a rooster style popper. And so I've been using their poppers forever. It's my favorite lure. And um,
Yeah, you
I
have
wanted to,
isn't
yeah,
your YouTube avatar a rooster fish?
maybe. Yeah.
Yeah, I
So I
think it
caught
is.
that one off the shore
Dude,
with a popper.
that's a bucket list fish for me. And to catch it like topwater, that must have been
Yeah.
so cool. Yeah. Yeah. I'm sure a
So
lot of people are like, yeah, rooster fish all the way. They look so cool.
yeah. Long story short, I found out where they manufacture their lures in China. So I went and I talked to them. I designed my own colors. I decided which hooks I wanted, split rings, the weight, and I got some samples and sent some pictures back and forth with them. And this is what we came up with. And I knew it worked because it was the same as the one I've been using, the Jansen popper. That was my favorite popper,
Yeah.
except I could customize it, and they really work. They
Yeah.
they cast a mile and they pop so easy with just like a little flick of the wrist.
Yeah. I'm not so hardcore or successful as a surf caster to know that what it's like to catch a fish on a surf fish on a popper. But I see like OGs with like the big ass like East Coast ones. You'll see them once in a while walking up and down Ocean Beach when the water's pretty flat. It just seems like it would be an awesome strike to see like an
Yeah,
explosion.
I haven't really caught a fish on a top water lure.
Yeah,
Wow.
so Adam hasn't either. I haven't caught a striper on a
think
top
Adam
water.
has.
He's
has.
never caught a striper on top water.
He did.
He mentioned, right? Yeah.
No, he did not. Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah.
He told me that, yeah.
Yeah, I was out with him at one of the Santa Cruz beaches once, and he was trying it. And I remember seeing his lure getting popped on by like a small schoolie, but I think that's the closest he's come. But it just seems like certain areas in the bay would be perfect for it. But you got to have a big enough fish to want to hit it. You should give one to June. I'm sure June will.
I'm gonna
hook
give
up with
June a couple of these so he can try it out. I gave them to this one guy that I see all the time fishing for stripers. And a month later, he came back and showed me all these pictures of fish he caught on my popper, all the stripers, and they're all in the bay.
On the surf?
In the bay, yeah.
Oh, in the bay, not on the surf.
No.
Okay,
But
not in the ocean.
and so these things work on stripers. It's just you have to hit them early in the morning or late afternoon. And he said he was doing this. Yeah, he caught stripers on this. Yeah, not me. I haven't thrown this too much.
Yeah, very specific conditions and very specific water.
How much it weighs?
Target.
It weighs a little over an ounce.
Dude,
so
I have one, June, and I was playing around with it at a beach that's not to be named. It casts super far, and like not knowing how to pop, that thing was like exploding on the water. So I mean,
Right?
And those the hooks are really sharp. Yeah.
The hooks are like incredibly sharp. They're some of the
Really?
I think they're the sharpest stock hooks I've ever seen on a lure. Like like
but trust me, man, each time I try my best. Each time I will go out to the beach, I would have a popper with me and I will try it.
Yeah. Everybody needs a popper in their tackle box. Just
you can't hook up.
Oh, yeah, that's fishing. But when you do hook up, I think you'll be like, "Damn, that was hella fun. I want to."
Yeah, I'll be probably using all poppers all the time.
Guy that I get
going back to
making jigs already. It's more than Khalees's, June. Don't forget about that popper.
The guy who I gave this to, he says he's never caught a fish on top water before this, and now he can't get it. Man. He loves it because this thing just floats in the same spot, right? So you can pop it. Wait 10 seconds and it's just floating like this. And then so he's doing real. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. So we'll put Nick's information in the video description once this live stream is recorded and posted, so you can find Nick. Or unless Nick, do you have a website that people can remember?
Yeah, it's on my Facebook page. If you can go there, there's a link there.
Nick Fish.
Facebook Nick Fish.
Facebook Nick Fish again.
I'll figure a better way to get these out.
Yeah. Well, distribution is king, but. Personally, I haven't caught a fish on them, but I've tried it twice now, just for fun, just messing around. And cast super far, and I've told Nick this like a billion times. It's the sharpest hook. Like I want the information of the guy just for the hooks, because the hooks are like incredibly sharp and they're super strong. And if he could like make smaller ones for like Lucky Craft or those
It'd be
style
perfect.
jerkbaits, it'd
That's a
be
great
perfect.
idea.
Yeah. Hey, don't steal it. You heard it here
I'm not.
first.
It's yours. You're only telling everybody on this stream.
Yeah, look out for the Ish with Fish hooks coming to a website near you pretty soon. And just going back to the comments, I see everyone leaving comments. Testing. There's somebody in the comments. His name is Testing. He's saying, "Hey, what's up from Sydney, Australia?" So somebody is really watching us from Australia. That is amazing, because that's
Nice.
like a third of the way around the world, maybe a little farther than that. Sydney, Australia is near and dear to my heart, because I actually had my honeymoon there. And so from Sydney, I jumped to Cairns and like Port Douglas, which is like a 3.5 hour flight north. And that's how I was able to dive the Great Barrier Reef before it got all messed up. so yeah, Sydney, Australia in the house. That's really cool. I love Sydney when I was there. Awesome city. Yeah, it just, the city itself isn't like, it's okay, not to hate on like downtown Sydney's pretty bland. Like that's where they filmed The Matrix, because they were looking for this like bland, like looking could be anywhere kind of city. So the downtown area isn't great, but when you get to the shore and the outskirts, and you go across the bridges and then the different like aisles and stuff, it's amazing. So I don't know, bucket list travel destination for a lot of people. I checked it off my list when I got married. Sydney, Australia. So definitely recommended. They have the best zoo too, the Taronga Zoo. It's just amazing. So let's see who else is here.
So I want to
Testing.
answer a little question about where to buy kayaks. So
Okay.
you can, there's a lot of stores that you can go and test kayaks, but if you're going to buy them used, which I suggest, a really good place to check, of course, is Craigslist. But my favorite place is Facebook Marketplace. And I don't know if you guys use that or not,
I do.
but Facebook Marketplace is a great spot for fishing items.
Yeah. You see a lot of people that like, it's not their stuff to sell, but they're like they inherit stuff, or
Mhm.
I see a lot of cheap deals on like old lead. So like people
Yeah.
inherit like old gear. Like I don't have use for old gear, but if I find like a bulk listing for like a bunch of fishing weight and somebody like just wants to get rid of it, it goes really quick. But
Of course.
that's where I found some scores on like bulk lead. Bulk lead is actually hard to find, like good quality lead, because I started pouring or smelting my own lead for my own snares, and some other stuff that maybe I'll mention on the channel one day. But yeah, it's a good place for bulk lead. So I think I just burned myself with that tip.
We need
But,
to do some snaring off the kayak soon.
yeah, I saw a video where somebody else was doing it. Your channel. So,
Snaring?
yeah, so, just
Like
dropping a
crab
snare,
snare?
messing around,
Yeah,
crab snare,
just
right?
I thought you did that, Nick.
yeah, I did, but I didn't catch it. It wasn't me. But
Yeah.
I don't know.
I thought I saw
It's
one
relaxing.
of your videos. You did. No.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was me.
Oh, that was you.
Hey, White Bear
Okay.
asks, is the kayak fishing community pretty forgiving and helpful to newbies? I would say so. Like I think like any community, like if you walked up to somebody, started asking questions, you would get like what I would consider like enough answers to keep you going. Um, I don't know if anyone's gonna like take you by the hand and like do everything for you and make sure you're okay, because kayaking is like so gear intensive and time intensive. However, like if you find the right channels into the community, once you get in and show commitment and feedback, like people will definitely help you out. So like I always tell people, like if you want information, great starting point is just to join NCKA, which is a online forum for kayakers, and old school like forum looking board, but you'll find everything you need to know about Northern California kayaking. And then like once you start meeting people in the community and you start fishing regularly, it's definitely like a super helpful and encouraging community, I would say. Yeah. I don't know. What do you think, Nick?
Yeah. There's definitely some really good kayak YouTubers like Robert Field, if you guys haven't watched him.
Yeah.
Also, there's YouTube Kayak Fishing Tales. That's a really good one too to learn.
Yeah, I've been watching a lot of Greg Blanchard lately, even though he fishes
Hmm.
even though he only fishes like largemouth, and he's actually like Delta based, but he does a lot of tournaments around the country. So, and again, he's like freshwater, so he's always doing like he does striper sometimes, but it's mostly like largemouth and largemouth tourneys. But like I don't know, something about his presentation, like I really like, and he just seems like he's a very good kayak angler. And so if you guys are looking for a kayak channel to follow, Greg Blanchard, actually like I commented on his one of his videos once, and then he must have looked at my channel and he offered to do a collab one day. So we'll see if that happens. But
Nice.
he's like, yeah, 60 something thousand subs. So I don't think he's quite full time, but I think he's definitely on his way. He has good content. Have you guys ever flipped your kayaks? I've never flipped, knock on wood. Have you ever flipped, Nick? I don't go out
I
enough to.
have. I have.
So
I
Had only
flipped.
two experience in kayak, so
Yeah, I know, June. But you've had the hottest start of any kayaker ever. I don't think anybody will have a better start than you.
I saw you
Two
there.
salmon? Seriously, that's crazy.
was
Just
lucky. I was lucky.
one. I would
That was after I called my wife. Literally, it
Really?
shoot,
always
man.
happens. Yes, that was after
Man.
I
Just
called her,
one, and I would have
caught one.
been just in awe. But two
Dude,
and
Yeah.
32 inches, like
You can-
it's not a small one. Those things fight like they're pissed off, man.
You guys got to watch June's most recent video.
If you guys haven't seen June's salmon video, you gotta go check it out.
No.
But
Well, that video too, but the
does
last
it-
striper video.
No, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to answer
Or-
one question here from Cubby Malone. Love the channel, June. Thanks. No, that's not the question. Why do you wear those sandals in the surf instead of wading boots? Why not boot foot waders? I tried the boots, and it's kind of for me. I'm a short guy. I'm a light guy. I'm only 135 pounds. So,
Hey.
and I like jumping around in one place, and I like for me the boots it feels heavy for me, and I don't feel comfortable wearing the boots it's too big and bulky. So those Shimano Air, is that Eva Air? Eva Air sandals.
Oh, the
those are
Shimano,
comfortable.
the Shimano ones,
Eva
right?
Air.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
How
sandals.
about on rocks? How do they grip rocks?
It's really good for me. It's good for me, but I don't want to suggest you guys to be. Oh, June said it's good for rock and start jumping off the rocks and hit your head and die.
Yeah.
But for me, it feels comfortable. I love it. And then when people ask what about those sands that goes inside? So when the sand goes inside, it would just those holes on the bottom and the side. It was big enough to get those sands out. But the Crocs, the Crocs has the same thing. The Crocs, the holes are higher than the sole, so the sand stays inside. So I don't suggest wearing those Crocs. But Ever's Shimano is really good. I've been using it for 4 years now, 5 years, and I have no problem.
The same pair or that brand?
Same pair. I never changed it. Very durable.
Wow.
I'm
How
not
about you,
sponsored
Ish?
by Shimano.
What kind of shoes? What kind of shoes do you wear for kayaking?
Oh, for kayaking. I switched over to a pair of I sent you the picture. I forget. Oh, NRS, like some kind of booties. I used to use some like just aqua socks or something. And then it was actually Moo that turned me on to the NRS, like Farmer John. So I got that. And then I got the NRS booties because honestly, I was getting like a ridiculous tan line, like where the bottom of my Farmer John and my aqua shoe met. Like I had like dark bands around my ankles. And I was like, well, that looks weak. And two, like the shoes I was wearing weren't really meant for submersion, and so I got a proper set, and they were like $40 on sale, super worth it, and very similar to diving shoes, diving kind of like sock shoes that you would use like in diving. So definitely worth it. Hey, I just want to say hi to somebody that I haven't seen or heard from in a while. It's Catherine. She used to be big Bay Area surf angler, and if you were in the more than fishing group and some of the different Facebook groups, maybe you saw her post. But she started out as a noob, like I don't know, maybe like year and a half, 2 years ago, and
Yeah.
very quickly became like the person that was regularly posting like striper catches and large perch catches, halibut catches, all kinds of stuff. So I haven't seen you in a while or heard from you in a while, Catherine. I heard you moved to the East Coast, but I'm not exactly sure. But I saw you float by here in the comments, so I just wanted to say hi. Nice thing about YouTube again, connecting with the community and staying connected with people. It's been pretty cool. It's been pretty cool.
Yep.
Um,
Yep. What's up,
yeah.
Catherine?
Daniel Johnson says, I live in Monterey and I'm out to try surf fishing for the first time. What rig do you recommend starting with? June, you're the surf guy around here.
Yep.
I always get this question. For me, I always ask the person who asked me question: are you gonna be doing surf fishing for a while, or are you gonna do this just to try it, or if you're doing this as your like profession or you're seasonal surf fishing, then I will if you're a beginner, I would recommend just go get those pen battle gears, and Daiwa MCAS. Those are like $70 and $50 real. So you can just have that. But if you're gonna be fishing every there's gonna be like me. I like fishing. I always go once a week. You're gonna need a better setup. Like get a van stall, a sealed reel.
Something
good.
sealed. Yeah.
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 Invest on those.
Yeah.
You're
at a
going to buy
minimum,
like 3 or 4 cheap reels before you invest in a nice
Yeah.
one and just have it for a while.
yeah. So like at a minimum, like a Penn SV, the spin fisher. You can find like the SV5, like a lot of them pretty cheap, and like a 3500 with like 20-pound braid, that'll control like, in my opinion, like pretty much anything you'll catch in the surf around here.
This braid,
And vice versa. If you are doing this just for you're a beginner, don't buy expensive tackles and then suddenly you just, oh, this is not for me. I'm not gonna do this anymore. So you're just
Yeah.
gonna waste your money. So rather start with a beginner's setup.
Yeah, just like anything,
good-
there's levels, right? So understand your price range, but know that if you go high or low, the expensive stuff of course is going to feel like phenomenally different, and it's going to last longer provided you take care of it. But again, if you're only like fishing like once a month or once every couple months, then maybe you don't need to commit to that $600 set. But if you find that you like it and you really love it and you're starting to understand like the technique and the flow of it, then treat yourself, because if you invest in good gear, it's going to take care of you. And if you're enjoying it that much more because it's that much nicer and it just feels good, there's definitely value in that.
Yeah.
if it feels good,
Yep.
you're smiling. You can cast that thing all day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Catherine says under 200, or if you have $100, get a BG. She used to work at was it Fisherman's Warehouse in San Jose, and then they ended up moving to Fairfield, I think. So she was right there, like front and center, front line for the tackle. So she says $100, get a BG. I'm just reading from the comments here. $200, under $200, get a spin fisher. But in the end, nothing beats a van stall.
Yeah.
I played with a spin fisher, the BG. I fish with the other people's van stalls, but I don't surf fish enough to warrant spending the money for one yet.
Have you guys ever
Yeah.
tried the Shimano Sienna? It's a $30 reel.
Yeah, the little black and
It's
silver one.
really good. It's like so smooth and so nice for $30. It's like one of the best bang for your buck reels ever.
Yeah. But at
Well,
the end of the day, you don't really need those. Like, if you really fish doesn't really tell you, oh, he's using van stall, I'm gonna go bite his lure, kind of like that. Fish doesn't do that. But just put a time, go out there and then fish. And then if I would suggest, if you want to experience catching fish, try not to plug yet. Don't plug. Just use
The
sand
fish-
crabs. Fish
The
finder
fish is
rig.
like, oh,
Yeah.
soft shell, but I think it's hooked onto a van stall.
Yeah, this is just pen battle 2. I'm not gonna bite on this one.
I'm better than that.
Like that. Yeah.
Does he have some like bougie ass fish that come by and are like, is that a fierce? Is it a fierce one? No way. No, I'll tell you a quick story. Like, yeah, like if you're just starting out, I mean, like a high-low rig or a fish finder setup with a soft shell, provided like it's hooked on right and doesn't fly off
Yeah.
when you cast it. It's hard to beat in Bay Area waters. Adam and I went out, I don't know, like I don't know, maybe a month or two ago, and and I think it's like when I first got my Khaleesas, right? And I'm like, okay, shit, now I got to put it on video. Here we go. And so I was plugging, doing like I like when I go, if I'm bringing my surf steak, it's like okay, then I have the option of just taking a break and putting a soft shell on and putting the pole on the steak. I'm like, no, I'm gonna catch something on a hard bait, this new one, right? I need to get my Khaleesa affiliate commission, and so I'm plugging a hole. Adam is plugging the other edge of the hole. This like OG, not even an OG. I want to call him like a new school OG. And you can tell like the new Asian OG guys from the old school OG guys, because the old ones, they don't have like nice stuff. They're like in like jeans or like waders from like 1942. And all their stuff is like just ancient, but it works. This guy was a new school OG because his stuff was like kind of new, but not quite beat up enough. Like there's still like price tags on some of his stuff. So he sets like this probably like $30 like Shakespeare rod. He walks right in between us. Like me and Adam are probably like maybe like 20 yards apart. So not that far apart. He puts the stake right in between us. So he's like kind of in like the gut of the hole. Like I'm trying to work the edge, Adam's working the edge. And then I'm like, hey, what's up? Hey, what's up? All he was doing was getting soft shells and casting them out and changing them every like I'd say like 5 to 10 minutes. I worked that area for like 30 minutes. Adam kind of did the same. We were like going back and forth because like the water was like breaking in that there was like a channel and a rip here and then like another little hole over here. That guy put up 2 stripers in probably like 25 minutes, gut him, killed him, put him on the line, and walked away. And so like I was like, Adam, did that guy just like come in, catch his limit, and then leave? Like
Drive through.
with soft shells, and like here we are with like our fancy stuff and like our GoPros like overheating in the sun. So yeah, I was just like totally blown away. I'm like, damn, like old
Yeah.
school wins again. So yeah,
I had
definitely.
experienced the same thing as that.
Yeah.
Like I was new to surf fishing and I'm using this Tiger, I don't know, forgot. It's like $30 combo rod and reel with a 20-pound monoline. I
Yeah.
use a fish finder rig. I use the line itself, the main line, as my leader. So
Okay.
I was just a lot of surf fishermen. I don't know why. I was wondering why there's a lot of fishermen plugging like straight lines.
Yeah.
And then they're all plugging. And I came in there with my social sinker. I throw my bait in the water. Right when I throw it, bang, I got hooked up. Big one. So I reel it in, kill this, because I keep all the fish that I catch. So I put it on the side, went back there, caught another one, and then left. And everyone's like looking at me.
They're just all pissed off.
Yeah. Hey June, I don't know. I think it's you, but you might have a bad wire or something, because throughout that story, it was
Really
probably what
I'm
people were
sorry.
hearing with me in the last couple of videos, where it's just that you're staticky, just in and out. So it just might be a
Am
loose
I?
wire or something. It sounds
How about
better.
now?
It sounds worse
Okay.
now. I think when you move your wire, there's definitely a
There's
flaw in it or
the-
something. So
Oh, I'm
just
sorry.
so just don't move around too much, I guess. But yeah, no,
How about,
you know
how
what?
about now?
I think that sounds good. Yeah, no, yeah. So if you're starting out, or I mean, I think some people just don't want to admit it. Sometimes a soft shell, nothing can beat it. I mean, it's
not
to me,
nothing.
it's boring. You're definitely like
Yeah.
not super active. I mean, you are active in that you have your pole and you're constantly like digging for more sand crabs. Going like for every 100 you find, you might find one soft shell. So you're almost like treasure hunt, and you're trying to keep mindful of your pole. To me, that's like I don't know. I find like just throwing a lure and working it, and just waiting for that strike is like the payoff is that much more worth it. I don't know.
Yeah.
It doesn't happen too
That's
often
right.
for me, but when it does, I'm like, okay, yeah, that was worth it. Yeah.
June, how do you like that new rod?
It's awesome. Which one? I got two new rods.
The dark matter one.
Yeah, how do
I
you like
just
it?
used it today. Like what I said, I went out today for a quick plug-in. I used the dark matter. It's good. It's
It
good.
looks whippy. Is
Thanks,
it whippy?
Josh. No, it's actually the same as the lure weights and the composition is all the same as the Shimano Dialuna. It's just the seat that's changed, but it's a little bit stiffer than the Dialuna. But I like it, and a
I
little
like that.
shorter
Yeah.
arm than the Dialuna. But if
It
you're
look
gonna
it looks almost too short. Is it too short?
too short, yeah, it's kind of short.
Adam
But
said if
I
he
like,
had like another 4 inches, he would like it more.
yeah,
Um,
it's that's what I felt today. It's kind of short
too
for
short. Like, okay,
yeah.
so if you were the average, well, I don't want to say average, but if you were a person on the West Coast using it for West Coast applications, you had let's say $270 after tax and shipping costs. Would you put somebody would you say like, okay, somebody on the West Coast is going to want to spend $270 for it? It seems like it's like so technique specific. I mean, like Josh said, it's from Japan.
Yeah.
It kind of emulates like Japanese presentations where you can go like super light
Mhm.
because apparently all the fish that you can catch off the shore are like super tiny because that whole fishery is like fished out. But like for the West Coast where maybe the fishery is like a lot healthier and you're spending a lot of time casting, yes, it's super light, but is it going to be comfortable enough to warrant $270?
I guess yeah. I think you're paying for the quality of the material of the rod. But for me, because I already used the Shimano Dialuna. Dialuna is a little bit longer arm,
Yeah.
and like what Adam said too, it's kind of short. For me, it's
What does
kind
that
of
do?
affect your casting,
Does
if
that
the
just
casting ability.
yeah, I know. Is you just have to change your technique on how you cast, more wrist
Yeah,
or
for
like
me, because for me, I've been using the long arm, the long
yeah,
handle, the
I like
ODM,
that.
and I like it. It's but when I tried the short arm with especially the Shimano, I got this from Vlad. Thanks to Vlad because he let me borrow his Shimano Daluna. When I felt, I'm like, oh, this is good. This is good. And here in West Coast, we don't really, especially in Northern California, we don't really cast 4 ounce lure because
No.
those rods like the ODM, those are for canal.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
know, yeah. So here we only cast. The heaviest that I
1 to
cast
2
is
ounce.
2 ounce. Yeah, and this rod is already 2 ounce the max the lure weight. So when you cast it, you just flick it. You don't get tired. And when I last week I switched back to ODM. Man, I felt like so tiring. I get
That's
tired
key
easy.
too. If you can't throw it all day, then it's just
Yeah.
there's no point.
With the Shimano, I can go all day. You just flick it, the lure will fly,
Yeah.
and especially when you use the light lures like the Kalissa, those are
Kalisa.
only 5/8. You can get the maximum distance with that lure with that rod.
With the
But
Dialuna.
with the ODM, it feels like not have nothing against with ODM, but it's not meant for Kalissa lure. It's stiff, very stiff. You can't even feel the lure.
Hey, I
Lisa
got
lures, you need whip on your
The
rod, huh?
whip, yeah.
yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's for sure. I find my 9 foot medium was it a Kuma SST rod, a salmon rod? It's like the whippiest 9 foot I have, and it definitely gets a jerk bait style lure with casting weight. So whether it be a Lucky Craft, Kalisa, it definitely seems to like align everything within the lure as you load, and then when you whip it out, it definitely goes farther. I feel like when you're casting with a heavier, I mean, you're supposed to stay within the rod rating, right? Anyways, but a whippier rod is definitely going to be more effective in fishing a jerk bait style lure like a Kalisa or Lucky Craft um, than a heavier one. really quick, I want to ask this question to you guys. And actually, somebody commented on this in our last shelter show, and somebody brings it up here. Koji888. Well, he asked, "Who started the whole Bay Area Asian dude fishing channel?" Matt. My general question is, why does it seem like all the Bay Area fishing guys are Asian?
Asians.
Like, is it? And I remember the guy that asked the very similar question. He asked that question outright. He's like,
I
"Hey,
heard
why,
that one too.
why is it that all Asian or Bay Area fishing guys are Asian?"
Are Asians?
Yeah. What are your thoughts on that, June?
We're the only ones that know how to edit.
Does Asian like fish? I don't know.
Yeah.
Like fishing. It's not
Asians,
like fish. but
Asians
like, I
fishing
think
is a
it's in
big
our
part of
blood.
it.
Yes, I think it's in our culture. Even though you are not raised in Asia or you were born and raised here, I think it's in your genes. You will look for the water and then hunt for fish. I don't know.
Every Asian knows somebody in their family that's a fisherman, right? That
Yeah,
they
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you could say that about like any
anybody,
demographic.
but yeah.
But why? Okay, so I mean, like, yeah, there's a million channels out there.
Demographics, I think.
But as far as the channels that are like, quote unquote well known. So let's say like you're over 10,000 subs, whatever the bar is to be considered like a popular YouTube channel, right? Let's say it's a 10,000 sub mark. It does seem like from the Bay Area, we're all Asian, right? I mean, like, I can't think of
Yeah.
any YouTube channel in the Bay Area outside maybe like California Catch and Cook. They're the only two white guys that I know that with a channel that's like fishing related, where their sub base is big enough where they can be considered like one of the more well-known YouTubers in the community. Matt, Taku, Adam, June, Nick
Catch
on
and
his
Cook,
way.
I think it's so
California.
Asian. Dude.
Yeah, who else?
Catch and Cook, California.
Yeah, Catch and Cook California.
Yeah.
They're like the only Bay Area like non-Asian channels that I could think of that
What's
are
his
like
name?
Some
West
mix
Coast
white.
Fishing and More.
Yeah, not really.
Wait, who?
Yeah, I guess. Who this? Yeah, I don't know. Like, let's see. They All Bite is a white dude. Yeah, but I'm talking about like when you've hit like, let's say 20,000 subs, like the bigger channel.
Subs.
Is it just that the Asians were there first because we're better? Or
We're
is
on
it,
YouTube
No,
more.
I don't think so.
We're
I think
on-
demographics.
is it demographics?
Here in California, yeah, there's a lot of Asian people here in California. It's mixed
Yeah.
culture here. But imagine if we're all in Texas. I don't know if we're gonna
Yeah.
have.
That's true. Well,
Yeah.
One Rod, One Reel Fishing, he kind of represents for the bass scene in the
Yep,
Midwest
yep,
and
yeah.
the
There,
East
there you
Coast.
go.
So
I watched this video.
yeah. People are asking, is Matt's Asian? Well, if you have to put an S at the end of your first name, I don't think so. Do we accept Matt's in the Asian club? Is he an
I don't know.
honorary
Is he-
Asian?
Is
Did
he
he
half?
say Puerto Rican? Oh wait,
Puerto Rican? That's me.
oh that's you. But I think he mentioned about something mixed with him.
Yeah. No, he's definitely mixed.
His baby's mix.
Yeah, I definitely
mentioned a-
know. Yeah, honestly, I know exactly what he is because we've talked about it, but I don't know. He seems kind of private, so I don't know if I want to tell
Oh,
people
okay.
what he is. You guys can go ask him, but no, it
Yeah.
does seem like specific to the Bay Area, and I mean maybe like our sample group is definitely like swayed. I mean, like if you take all the people that were in our last shelter show, yes, like everyone seemed to have at least some Asian in them. I'm half Filipino, and I really lean into that for the purposes of Bay Area fishing because no one's going to relate to my Puerto Rican side. But if you do kind of think about it, the bigger channels, they definitely lean Asian, and it's not like there's like
Yeah.
more Asian in the Bay Area, but maybe because fishing.
Yeah.
If you look at the average surf fisherman, like just walking down the beach, they're probably going to be Asian actually. Now that you mention it, and then like maybe coming in like second is like the Hispanic community representing, and then you might get like the random. You could always tell it's like a white dude because he's like either like old and like has like a 15-foot rod, or he's like I don't know, like everything is like too nice and put together on him, and he has like spy shades or something like that. I'm like going down a slippery slope here, but
Speaking of
And they always
Asian,
have like they're always
fishing
like
chef is
clean
in the
cut
house.
too. They're always like clean cut too. Yeah, that's my I'm gonna say that too. Yeah, maybe because like our channels kind of started or at least like lean towards the surf or like cliff fishing. Like we're not inland fishing, we're like surf fishing. And when you just go, like you'll just see like Asian, like by like majority Asians, Hispanics, maybe what, and then like I don't know, African Americans, the brothers like
African.
here and there.
Lab
I,
zone. You know it's lab zone?
yeah,
Yeah,
uh,
African American.
yeah,
Oh, I
African
didn't know
American.
that. That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, the guy behind Slab Zone, African American. Who's the other guy? Um, uh, Hole Intruders. He's African American. He's my cousin's friend actually. He's a cool guy.
Um,
I don't know.
the guy from Florida, the short guy.
Yeah.
Who's that guy? He's like
Oh,
he's always
Monster Mike,
screaming.
right?
Monster Mike. Yeah. Is he black?
Yeah, he's brother. Yeah, he's African American. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully, you know, talking about people's ethnicities isn't like firing off some what's it called, SJW like genes in people. But I mean, the reality is like, you know, people have ethnic backgrounds, and it's definitely like a curious discussion point, like why Bay Area YouTubers, not just fishing, but maybe it's because fishing, just from my experience, surf fishing skews towards Asians, and maybe just this channel, the people that I bring on to the shelter show, the people that are part of my YouTube experience happen to be Asian also. It's not like I just gravitate towards Asian anglers. It just seems like everyone that I tend to fish with are have some Asian in them. I know Adam is half Asian. What are you, Nick? Are you like all Japanese?
Yeah, I'm Japanese.
Nick is Japanese.
I'm not pure Filipino, you know that.
Well, what's the rest of you?
I'm Chinese. My mom is half Chinese.
So you're a quarter Chinese?
My grandpa is I'm a quarter Chinese.
Wow.
Yeah.
No wonder you're a bad driver.
Is
getting
pure.
tickets. Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and then you look at the kayakers that are like, you know, considered kayaking channels from the Bay Area specifically, or at least like fishing the Bay Area, like Moo. He's Korean. TLA. He's Vietnamese, I think. You know, who else am I thinking? I don't know.
Fishing chef. He's
fishing
Chinese.
chef. Yeah, he's Chinese.
Speaking of fishing chef, he has a huge Asian Chinese kind of
community.
Man.
Yeah.
Well,
he does a smart thing in that he puts subtitles in, it's either Mandanese or Mandarin or Cantonese for all of his channels. So I definitely think if he ever took off and like it would be like from China, like I could see why he does it. I think he does.
Yeah,
it
like
because
we all have like similar subscribers. I feel like his subscribers are like completely out of that like zone.
Yeah. Because I see the comments; they're all in Chinese character.
I know.
I'm like, what?
He makes great videos though.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does. I like his editing.
He's funny, man.
They're so quirky. Yeah.
I know. It's in the beginning when he's like going like this with the fishing pole.
Yeah, he's like
and he's tying his fishing knots, but it just looks like kung fu.
No, he's like one of the more creative like storytellers as far as like fishing. You know, I haven't talked to that guy. I invited him, like we did a couple of videos together. The last time I talked to him was like I think at the last Put Him in the Bag tournament that I invited him on, and then he got all that free stuff, and I never heard from him again. Chenzi got what he wanted and he took off. So anyone that's here, if you guys can find fishing chef, say Chenzi, you left Ish hanging. What's up, bro?
He's in the chat right now. You know that?
Oh, is he? Oh, hey, what's up, Chenzi? What's up, dude? You just bailed on me. I feel like I felt like you ghosted me, you dickhead. But I love your videos.
Yeah, but he just made a new video, like the stingray thingy.
I know. I'm glad he made that, because like no way I would ever eat a stingray. It just seems like a lot of work. I hear they taste like a poor man's scallop, but it just seems like there are a ton of, like, you definitely get to a point where it's like is it worth it to like eat this thing when I could just go to In-N-Out for like, well, nowadays $8-9 like get a meal. I don't know. I'm glad when other people do it because it's so interesting, but I don't know if I have the patience to ever process
Yeah.
a bat ray. That's
Yeah.
right. He's like Catherine says, no wonder I haven't seen him. He's too busy hanging out with burly white survivors. I gotta assume that's Catch and Cook California. Kevin of Catch and Cook California, if you're watching this, that is the one channel like I have not been able to do a collab with. We are always missing each other in emails, and like we are always coming up with ideas. Like we want to do a video together. And I knew when I first saw them, I was like, oh man, they have so much knowledge. And if they just did like better production and filmed with like a GoPro Hero 7 that was
If you just
stabilized.
buy another GoPro battery, he's using one GoPro battery.
I know. And like if he just filmed, like there's a huge difference between you can see the difference when people film with a 7 versus anything below because of that hyper smooth. It really adds like production value. Like I'm still rocking multiple GoPro Hero 4s, but I hide it in editing. If you buy something with hyper smooth, like shout out to GoPro, they changed the game with that hyper smooth because they add like a professional element to production now. So anyway, I just like, dang, if they improve their production value a little bit, they would like take off, and they're definitely going to be big. I think.
Mark my word.
I actually haven't seen any video of him. I just heard about right now. I'm looking at right now. It looks
Catch and
good.
Cook California. They've done like so much stuff with Taku, and I think they've done a couple things with mats. Yeah, you don't know, and that guy's like 6'10". He's like gigantic, but he's like so cool though. Yeah.
Yeah. If you're watching this, man, I'm sorry. I just subscribed to you right now. I don't know if you guys can see. I just subscribed to you.
So that's Kevin, and I forget his brother's name, but Kevin, Catch and Cook California, and then their dog, Mushu or Wasabi or something. I don't know.
Wasabi is going to be my next boat name.
Wasabi. It has to be a green boat then, right? Fishing. Oh, hey, what's up, Chenzi? So Chenzi is here. He says, stingray takes extra effort to fillet itself. It's not too bad. Yeah, but is it okay? Like if you put the time in to catch like surf perch versus the time to catch a stingray and then the time to process it, like what would you rather eat, Chenzi? I should just have you on the show and ask you. What's your email?
I know.
We should just bring you on. Hey, Chenzi, you want to come in? Email me. Chenzi, if you're listening to this, email me at ishwithfish@gmail.com and I'll send you the invite to this live stream because I got to know, is it worth it?
Okay. In the meantime, I want to show you guys my new fishing reel.
Let's see. Oh, I love new gear. Oh, did I just get a boater? Yep.
This is the Daiwa Saltus.
Beauty.
Oh, is that the 2-speed?
Yeah, it's a 2-speed.
Dang, right hand too.
So you just
Do you troll off your left side?
No, off my right side. For salmon, I troll off my right side because I don't know. I just like to net with my net with my right hand.
Then why didn't you get a left-handed reel so as you're reeling, you could work it on your left side instead of on the inside and pinch yourself?
Hold on, let me think about that. What are you talking? So I'm on my right side. I have fishing rod on my right side.
Yeah. So
I would have my fishing rod in my left hand and my net in my right hand.
Yeah.
So I'm pulling it like.
But reeling like this, isn't that like I found like I don't know. I can't speak because I fish from the left hand of my kayak and all my reels are left-handed, and so I'm switching to right-handed reels because it's. When I caught that sturgeon, it was easier for me to reel it and control it on the left-hand side.
Okay.
I don't know.
A lot of people do it on the left-hand side.
I can't really relate to what you guys talking about because I only been to a kayak twice.
Yeah. What side did you fight?
Even net my fish.
What side did you net?
Yeah, June doesn't net. No, he doesn't net. You mean what side is Jason following June on?
I think it's a right side and behind.
That's still amazing. Still amazing. Can't believe it.
Oh damn! Hey, we got a $20 donation from Bad Monkey. Nearly 2 hours late to the stream. You guys are still going. That deserves a bird. Man. Wow, that's a lot. Again, anybody that donates the show to the shelter show, it definitely goes towards production value. If you guys noticed, I'm not the one having mic problems. I'm actually talking on a Rode mic right now. So hey,
I know I saw that.
Yeah. Wait, look. See. It's like I'm trying to take this seriously, you guys.
Yeah.
Right
Thank
handed
you,
conventional
bad
rule.
monkey.
Headphones.
Bad monkey. So yeah.
Thank you,
So
bad monkey.
so it's trying to. We'll make sure that that $20 goes back into the form of giving back to the subs somehow. One thing I really want to do is a like a game show like episode. Would you guys like to have a game show episode where we have like people from the audience come up into the shelter show and then like we do some
Oh, that
kind of
would be
like
nice.
yeah, wouldn't that be fun? Yeah.
Yeah.
Like we like
Why don't we
like
do it
hey
right
everybody,
now?
I'm your host, Ish, right? And then like yeah, we have I don't
So
know,
I'm
people
holding
guess.
up the prizes.
Yes. And like somebody's like doing sound effects, and then somebody's doing like Danny, he hit me up this week. He's like, you guys got to do a game show day. I'm like, yeah, but the logistics of it, and then like, what if I get some like fucking asshole from the subs and I bring him in and he like ruins everything? So like, I gotta make sure that we get the right contestant, right? Like you watch a game
Mhm.
show like on TV, they filter out like so like they have so many like levels to get into the show, so they find the right contestant.
You have
So I
audition
can't-
too.
yeah, they audition. So like I gotta find some. It's like a whole process in my head, but we'll figure out a way to do a game show. It'll be fun. Danny asked, "Is Nick gonna be Vanna White?" Well, he is prettier than Vanna nowadays. Let me tell you. But yeah, I would love to do like I was thinking like like have like a share screen and then do like 10 different rockfish, and if you get like 6 of them, because like like there's like what 40 different rockfish types out there, and I don't know, like name this California species, something like that. I think that would be fun. Try to get like sound effects, trying to figure out the logistics behind that. These shows are like a little more harder than you think. There's some like logistics that we have to figure out, but
Yeah.
if we do, it would be fun to do. So yeah, everyone automatically is saying it's appreciated. Yes, absolutely. Definitely wanted to give that a shot. Damn, June, it's like almost 11 o'clock and your baby's still awake.
Dude, my kids now after right during this COVID, man, we sleep like 1, 2 a.m. Everybody in this house.
Do you guys
Yeah,
your
everybody's still awake.
your entire household is up that late?
Yeah. We're still up right
Wow.
now. All my kids.
Oh my gosh.
But during school days they sleep early.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, yeah, ever since this happened, like, well, no, my
Change
kids,
everything.
my kids are in bed by 7:30, like 7:30, and then they're out.
Dude,
But I
that's
think it's
too early.
no,
That's our
but they're
lunch.
but they're out though, but they wake up at like 6 o'clock, but I don't know, they sleep for like 12, 13 hours. So
Yeah, my kids wakes up at 9 or 8.
Speaking of waking up early, the sun's been coming up early, and I love these
Dude,
early mornings.
yeah,
I'm fishing
Yeah.
tomorrow, early
Shoot.
morning.
yeah.
See you guys in the surf.
So
Yeah.
Adam or June is fishing, Nick is fishing. I will not be fishing, but I do agree with you. I do like the early morning sunrise and the later sunsets, because I think once phase, well, yeah, that's why I haven't been posting like real content lately, because I don't know, the whole shelter in place has really thrown off my personal schedule. And then just like, I like ask Nick, for example, every time he goes out, the first thing I ask is like, was parking hard? Did you see any tickets? Did anyone bother you? Was anyone like checking out
Yeah,
your car?
you're living vicariously through me.
I'm living vicariously through Adam, through June, through Nick,
Mhm.
because I think of anyone, I live the combination. I have everything going against me. I have the combination of the kids, a job, and I live the farthest from places to launch or
Yeah.
fish, and so I have to depend on you guys for information, because man, I don't want to drive like an hour, load all my stuff, and then find out like I have $1,000 ticket for me. So once like things
Yeah.
ease a little more, then I think I'm going to be down to go out a little more and take advantage of like, frankly, like I'm kind of waiting for like everything to ease up a little bit more, and then the timing wise, like I'll still catch that window when crab is still available, rockfish is starting to heat up, salmon are starting to come in, stripers are definitely in already. So
Is it salmon up there on the
Salmon started. Crab closes end of next month.
yeah. I think they close commercial early,
Rockfish is
but
open.
yeah. So yeah, let's see, Alan. So
Wait,
people are
is there
saying Alameda
salmon
Launch
out
Shelter.
there
Yeah.
now?
Yeah,
So
but they're a little
yes,
deep. They're about
Oh,
5 miles out, so
yeah.
not within kayak reach.
I
Although,
see.
although some of the sites that I am on, a lot of people are, or not a lot, but people are starting to say that they're starting to catch them outside of the Golden Gate in
Yeah.
like 60 foot of water. So
Hmm.
they're coming
Really?
closer. So not that I would ever be out there in those waters on my kayak, but you start hearing that, and then you start getting inspired to know that they're coming near shore. They're working their way south. Well, they will. So yeah, it's coming. It's coming. So yeah. Anyways, yeah, we're coming up on 11. It's almost 11 actually. So yeah, maybe one last AMA for June, and Nick got to wake up early to go fishing. I don't have, I actually have a lot of stuff to do in my personal life
I'll
instead of
sleep
fishing.
when
But
I'm dead.
no, you'll sleep when you have kids. You'll be so tired.
Yes.
Dude, seriously.
Yeah. So yeah, maybe a few more questions from the 81 people that have stuck it out with us. You guys,
Yeah,
you guys
thank
are
you,
soldiers.
everybody.
Guys.
Yeah, 80 people to stick around and hang out this long. It's been, I don't know, how long have we been? We're coming up on 2 hours. I always tell myself it's only going to go an hour, and then here we are at 2. So we'll just answer the last we'll have a last minute kind of AMA, ask us anything kind of session here. So if you guys have any final questions for us, feel free to throw them up in the comments. I see Super Bad says, what's the news on crab season? As far as I know, and again, any information we're going to give you as far as like legality or whether or not a season is open, we're going to tell you what we know, but definitely fact check it online if you can. What I know is commercial season is, I think they are scheduling to close it if they didn't close it already.
It closed it already.
They closed it already, okay. But recreational is still open, and I don't think there's
Yes.
any sign that they're going to close it before the end of the normal closure. And of course, Dungeness is what we're talking about, and it's scheduled to close June 30th, so just like normal. As far as
Yeah.
having access to the normal fishing spots, that's the challenge. The Pacific Pier, my dad was there yesterday. He swung by the pier. It's
Close.
still locked up. Yeah, it's probably going to be locked up for the duration of whatever California's extended shelter in places, which is currently the end of May. And then parking, I think, is still closed by pillar. So if you do get out to the jetty, it's going to be very difficult to find parking. Be careful parking in residential areas, because I hear that neighbors are starting to call in on people from outside of their neighborhood on cars, and they're ticketing those cars. So be careful. But
Yeah. All the
if you
tickets given out is for illegal parking. It's not
yeah,
for regular parking.
yeah.
Yeah.
So if you get there early, you won't have a problem with parking.
Yeah. Anybody else? Let's see. Any catch made you sick after eating? We kind of covered that in our last shelter show. Me personally, I don't think I've ever gotten sick from any catch that I've made. I don't cook my stuff, my wife does. So I've been fortunate. June, have you ever made yourself sick from a catch?
No, never.
No.
Never. I like
The
all
the
stomach.
the
reason I never
the
get
Filipino stomach can't nothing can
Seriously, yeah.
nothing's nothing has a chance. You know, maybe that's why all the popular Asian or YouTubers, the fishing YouTubers in the Bay Area are Asian, because we've survived the longest. Because we have the stomach enzymes to process all the stuff we're catching and cooking. You know what I mean? All the
We're
all the white
immune.
all the white guys are gone, all the brothers are gone, all the Hispanic YouTubers are gone, because it's our stomachs that are keeping us alive and getting us to the to the 10, 20,000, 30,000 sub marks. All right. Poppers on the surf ocean. Yeah. I mean, I see OGs rocking poppers all the time. I've never come close to catching a popper fish. June, he mentioned that he's tried. Nick's trying. He has a whole line of poppers. That's how much he's invested in that idea. Let's see.
So I got a question here. What's recommendation on fish finder and battery? So the one I use for my battery is this Nakwa one. I actually have it right here.
Oh, cool.
It's by Yak Attack. This is specifically made for the kayaks, and it's waterproof. So a lot of the times the battery gets corroded in your kayak if you leave it there before. If you leave it there like after you go fishing, with all the hatches closed, the moisture kind of like gets into the battery. But this battery lasts maybe 3 trips, and it's waterproof, really small. It's a great battery.
Cool.
And then
Cool.
fish finder I use is this Garmin fish finder.
Yeah.
And this is the Striker 4.
I have the
And
same one.
Garmin-
I have I have the CV one, so it's like the one that has like the narrower band, so you can see things a little more clearly.
Yes.
Yeah.
So this has a narrow band and it has a wide band. But what makes this special is it has chirp. And chirp is like the newest, highest technology for fish finders.
Mhm.
Just you could see everything. You can see fish, you can see the bottom. It's really amazing. This is and Garmin. What's the other company that makes fish finders?
Shoot.
It's Garmin and
I'm sure somebody's gonna say it in the comments. I
but
can't think of it.
anyways, Garmin makes GPS for cars and stuff. So they have
Lowrance.
GPS built. Lowrance, yes.
Yeah.
Garmin has GPS built into it
Yeah.
automatically. Lowrance doesn't have GPS built
Hummingbird.
into it for the.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
think this is the best bang for your buck.
Yeah, as far as entry level, like I think I paid about 115 for my Striker 4 CV, and I bought it at West Marine, and West Marine, trying to compete with Amazon and online retailers. A lot of people don't know this, but they will price match any online price, provided it's not a auction site like eBay,
Mhm.
and you can show your phone or have a printout. So if you have a local West Marine and you find a price on Amazon, or even if it's on sale, I think you bring the ad into West Marine or show them your phone, and at the register they will match the price. So yeah,
And West Marine is open right now too.
Yeah.
So if you need to go there, they're open.
Yeah, I was there the other day, and they just the doors, the San Carlos one, the doors were locked. They were letting people in when you knocked on the door, but they were definitely controlling the traffic. And it was actually pretty busy. The guy was like a super nice guy. He just asked that you wore your face mask when you were going in. So not only are they doing, I think, curbside pickup, but they're allowing people in the stores, at least the San Carlos one. So that's, I think, what life is going to be like for all retail for for the next like few months at least.
I agree.
I think, but hey, it's what you got to do in this day and age, and be flexible, guys. Let's see. I know a couple cop fishermen. I've been meaning to like ask them to come on the show if they can like talk about what it's like to fish, and then if they have to like enforce it if they like patrol the coast.
Vlad is a cop.
He was a cop, but I mean, I'm talking about like active officers that are out there today. Yeah, active duty. So yeah, so I see people like, actually this is pretty cool. Like it kind of fired up like a conversation within the comments of people asking like, hey, where can I fish? And other people throwing in information. So cool. I think with that though, we'll close it off. June has another 3 hours to do find something to do with his kids, even though he's gonna be fishing tomorrow.
Good luck tomorrow, June.
Yeah, we'll catch one.
Yeah,
catch a halibut. I haven't seen a halibut video from you.
From the surf?
Yeah, from the surf.
Yeah, that's tough. You gotta go south. You gotta go where Everett is, Santa Cruz Surfcaster.
Bay Area.
Or in the Bay. In the Bay.
Or in the Bay.
I'm scared.
No, June's caught.
I caught a halibut.
He caught a halibut before.
With you, right?
Yeah. East Coast, right?
Yeah. Accidentally hook up.
Yeah.
I'm not even targeting halibut.
I know, and then you caught that big ass striper, which you donated.
Yeah,
I got the pity halibut. It doesn't taste as good as mine, but yeah, pity halibut.
I don't like halibut. I don't know, for some reason. I don't like it.
Yeah. Halibut, you got to cook it just right, and it's so dense and it's so filling. Like, it's. I mean, I can see why people like it if they cook it right, but you have to cook it right. You can go like overdone with it so fast, also. So you got to be careful there.
Yeah.
But it's one of those fish where I think you have to like it to really like it. Like everyone loves salmon. Let's see, does everyone love striper? I don't know if everyone loves striper, but I think most people like salmon. But I think halibut's like one of those things where I think it's a lot of it too is like if you can catch one, because it's like a not rare but uncommon species to catch. people will celebrate and throw
Halibut?
down, especially with the halibut ceviche. I know that's a big thing.
No,
So
I don't like
Do your
halibut.
food well.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, speaking of like making yourself sick. Be careful with ceviche and anything you a lot of people I'm sure like getting inspired by taco and eating things raw and then just like catching worms and stuff.
So, one thing I learned about worms is I guess there's only one species that can get transferred into your body from the fish,
Oh,
and it's the worm one, right? It's that long worm one.
the one that
And
you find in lingcod and rockfish?
exactly.
Oh.
And so I guess this is what I heard. Not sure if it's true, but I guess if you chew them, they die, and you can't it can't get
Oh.
transmitted. So if you chew your food well, they say you'll be fine.
I'm not gonna take that risk.
Yeah, I'll let Taku do the raw fish, and if I happen to be there to eat it, I think I trust his judgment. I did it with surf perch, and it was really good. I have to say, I was surprised. I never thought to eat a surf perch raw, but
Martin says, what happened to Colt Sniper?
oh
Well,
yeah,
I don't use Colt Sniper anymore because I don't have it.
oh,
But
did
if I
you
have
lose
it in my bag, I will use it. Yeah.
Did you guys
It
lose
still
it?
works.
Okay,
Yeah, it just worn out. I just don't want to, and I don't feel like using it. But if I use it, for sure, it will still catch fish. But I just don't have.
because you don't have an affiliate link for it.
Yes, I would. And for some
I
reason,
would rather
really,
throw SP minnow.
I would
SP?
not recommend any lure if it doesn't really work at all.
Yeah.
Kalisa really is the best for me as of now. One of my favorite lure is the Kalisa, especially the pink one. Man, I think I already caught like 15 striper with that one.
Wow,
The pink Kalisa. Yeah, dude, seriously. That
it works.
lure is
Helps that it works.
crazy. Yeah, it
Yeah.
works really good.
BJ
Yeah,
Lowe
use my
says,
promo code with them fishing. You want
I
to get
like
one.
taking off the middle hook
hmm.
on the Kalisa.
So one last thing to worry about.
Yeah, I think it wiggles. It starts wiggling a little easier, so you don't have to give it so much jump
Yeah.
Action.
power. Yeah, and then
Okay.
I think they can leverage the two hooks against each other.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. A lot of guys.
Hey
will,
guys,
well,
I got a minute now because my baby is really acting up, so I gotta
okay.
have to
Yeah, I'm gonna get out of here too.
say goodbye.
Yeah. So with that, everybody. Somebody asked, "What's Nick's channel?" Really simple. Nick Fish.
Thanks,
Nick
guys.
Fish.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. So thanks, Nick, for joining the Shelter Show. June. Thanks for coming in late. But
As always, man.
Filipino time. It's in your genes. I understand. Adam had to cut out because he had another commitment. And so that's why you don't see him for that person that asked.
No,
And,
Adam isn't Asian enough, so we kicked him out.
yeah. We looked at the ethnicity chart and we realized that he is not representing the Bay Area community as much. Apparently, like you have to be like super Asian. So yeah, his Caucasian side took over and he had to bounce. So all right, guys, thanks for chatting with us, and we'll see you on the next one.
All right.
Peace.
See you guys. Bye.
Bye, guys.
Thanks.
Peace.